Hello?
MTG Gaming Bob. Bobby Z. What's
Hello?
up? K-Spice. Zach G says, let's go.
Hello. Happy Wednesday. What's up?
Colton, what's going on? Nice to see you,
Sadistic Angel. Welcome to the Token Creatures. We appreciate you joining our channel. You do get an Anthem, just FYI. +1/+1, flying, first strike, haste, trample, and indestructible. You get badges here on YouTube. You get badge in our Discord. You get access to all of our emojis. It's a hell of a deal. and it helps us not rely on YouTube AdSense. So thank you for that. Seriously.
Yeah, because YouTube AdSense, I mean, if there's one thing that we know about that, it's that it's awful.
It's
no,
fun.
I mean,
Well,
it's not reliable and it fluctuates wildly.
It's fun trying to be self-employed because that means that you're your own boss. But I gotta tell you, YouTube AdSense, worst fucking boss I've ever had.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild boss.
Chat, what's up? How y'all doing?
Hey, buds.
How are we getting to 69 likes? Are we there yet? We got to get
Let's
to 69
talk about
likes.
some overrated cards. Yeah, exactly, Tyler. I've been trying to keep up with spoilers, but there's even a couple things that I haven't seen yet. I haven't seen the new Mana Rock, the new Mox.
The new Mox, the new Lotus?
Or yeah, the new Lotus.
I was going
bad.
to say, dude,
That
if I
Mox.
miss a Mox, holy shit.
Yeah,
what am I even
the new
doing?
Lotus. Nice hair. Thanks, Sideshow on Acid. We appreciate it.
That's his favorite
Here
part
for the hair.
of our
I know
entire
that Sideshow
channel.
is here for the hair. Here for the hair. Yeah, there's some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks for spending your time with us today. I'm Jake. That's Joel. Welcome to another stream of Jake and Joel Magic. We do have some fresh new cards hot off the griddle, ready to be forgotten in the next month or so. But before we get there, we need to pre-order and buy all of them.
We've got to overreact. We've got to overreact and buy all the
We
cards.
got to buy all of the cards. I mean, that's the goal, right? We got to
Which
get them all.
Mythics will be $30 now and $3.30 in 4 months. That's
kind of
what
a
we
fun
want to
game
look
to
for.
play. It's a fun game to play. No, there's surely some good stuff. I like
Yeah.
Ward. Ward is a good mechanic. I like to see that printed on new cards and stuff. Yeah, you know, there's some good stuff in here.
What is y'all's
Liliana the Veil?
What is y'all's
Obviously,
favorite
Legends
card, chat, that's been printed so far or that's been previewed so far? What is the favorite card that you have seen? Oh yeah, J-Wall, we've seen it. I don't think we're going to go over commanders tonight. We're probably going to wait until we have the whole set to have some discussions, but we can have some one-off discussions about a lot of very interesting cards tonight. We want to talk about Timeless Lotus. Jake brought it up. Want to talk about, there's a cycle, Jake. Have you seen this cycle of Tribal Lords? I actually think they're going to have like constructed playability, some of them in older formats. Definitely worth going over because I think they're going to be some good pickups. Obviously, Liliana the Veil. Jake, what cards have you seen that you've really liked?
I'm looking at the Timeless Lotus right now, and I mean, it's pretty cool. It does exactly what you need it to do. I feel like any Mana Rock that you're going to pay 5 and it taps for 5, one of each color, is it's pretty amazing.
Right.
It's narrow as fuck. It can only go into 5 color. Exactly. But
for commander,
it's the Lotus for 5 color. Maybe it should have cost 3.
Yeah, seriously. I like Weatherlight Completed. Cool. Have you seen that card, Jake? New vehicle. We got a cool vehicle there that we definitely need to talk about the implications of. People have been over the top about this like new commander staple land called Plaza of Heroes. Everybody overreact and buy 30 copies. But I think that we're gonna temper expectations for Plaza of Heroes tonight on the stream a little bit, because that is we gotta just, let's not FOMO out. It looks really good. It probably is really good. Is it a command tower? Fuck no, it's not. So we are going to go over that card for sure.
Urborg Lurgoyf looks pretty good.
Lurgoyf?
That card looks pretty solid.
That's interesting, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty solid, especially if you're filling your graveyard up. I don't know if like Modern Dredge will want it, because
it's a little
already such a stacked kind of.
Well, and it's, dude,
I think that Sultai could want it though. It's kind
so
of a cool,
much mana. It's so much
kind of a
mana.
cool card.
I mean, it's not just the 2-drop, right? You've got creature cards only. Only creature cards is what it's looking for.
It is creature cards.
So it seems like a lot to me. It doesn't compare to Tarmogoyf whatsoever. But I do like, I'll say, I started playing MTG in Invasion block, and there was a lot of this where, you know, the casting was one color and then it had 2 different color kickers on it. and I really love it's really like, you know, it's comfort food for me to see designs like that. It's like, oh, this really reminds me of right when I started playing. So they're definitely hitting the nostalgia factor.
Yeah, the Timeless Lotus is pretty cool. You know, there's definitely some stuff here that I need to read. I'm looking through the spoiler myself on my end. There's some really cool stuff in here.
We have found, chat, that from the making videos, making shorts, doing live streams perspective, a lot of times it's really beneficial for us to, you know, we'll see the one-offs, but a lot of times it's beneficial for us to wait until we kind of have the entire spoiler in front of us to really start talking about opinions and values and themes and stuff like that. But we did want to talk about some solo shots. We could look at the mythics that have been spoiled so far. That's like definitely something we could peruse at. Maybe look at the rares. For sure. For sure.
Let's see here. See if there's anything that stands out.
Jake and Joel reacts. Yeah, Ron. I mean, that's having a YouTube channel, right? Yeah, the pre-con cards. We got to look at the pre-con cards eventually. New Sultai deck in Pioneer, true. Bobby. Is that based around any of the new cards? Or, I mean, obviously.
Probably the Lurgoyf.
It'd be interesting. New Danger Mouse album? We're not going to talk about that here on the channel, but that does sound interesting to me. I do like that.
I will definitely listen to that.
Yeah, I'll give it the old listen.
All right, so I have the chat pulled up here.
A new gate. We've seen this art. Got a new gate called Thran Portal. It's a land type gate. When it enters the battlefield, no, it enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer lands. So it's one of those quick lands. What's that cycle called, Jake?
Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer. The speed lands.
Lands. So it's a speed gate. When it ETBs, you choose a basic land type. It's the chosen type in addition to its other types. And then mana abilities of Thran Portal costs an additional 1 life to activate. So it's like a city of brass that doesn't tap for colorless at all.
Yeah.
But will tap for any color, any single color that you want it to tap for. Not a fan. Love the art. Not a fan. That's the kind of card that makes you go,
I'm trying to put together why it's kind of cool, and I'm not getting there. I mean, what's cool about it is that the versatility is there for you to pick the land that you need based on, you know, your land situation that you draw.
Yeah.
But I just, I don't know. Maybe there's something there.
Wish that this cycle.
Yeah, Karn is interesting. I don't know if it's good, but it's definitely interesting. Let me look at Weatherlight here. As long as it has 4 or more Phyresis counters on it, it's a Phyrexian creature in addition to its other types, and whenever a creature you control dies, put a Phyresis counter on, or whenever a creature you control dies, put a counter on Weatherlight completed, then draw a card if it has 7 or more counters on it, if it doesn't scry 1.
Chat, thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. We're at 41 likes currently. If y'all can get us up to 69 likes, I'd love to get to 69 likes right before we get going here. Going down there, hitting that like button is the quickest, freest way of helping us. Also, if you're not subscribed, might as well do that, especially if it's like your second time or you've seen a couple of our videos. You like us, we like you. Let's make it official and you hit that subscribe button. We appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this Weatherlight completed. It's kind of medium to me.
Yeah, let's.
It has 4 or more Phyresis. I guess we can say Phyresis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I don't care if I am.
Yeah, it's a great attempt at it. I think it's a good attempt.
If a Phyrexian creature, or it's a Phyrexian creature in addition to its other types, and whenever a creature you control dies, put a counter on it. Then draw a card if it has 7 or more. I don't know, dude. It's just like, it fits kind of into a sacrifice engine, but even when it comes online, it's like, do you care that much? It's just a 5/5 flyer, you know?
Let's swap over. We'll start with Weatherlight Completed. We'll do this as a little segment. Okay.
I mean, this might be an overvalued one already.
Yeah, it's already pre-ordering at $20. Is Weatherlight Completed. An absolutely huge, like, I don't want to say character in the story, but it kind of is at this point. Weatherlight Completed is now on its way to becoming Phyrexian, and I think it's kind of interesting. I mean, it might be overhyped, but I do think it's kind of interesting. Let's look at the card real fast. First off, it's 2 mana for a flying 5/5. Yes, it's a vehicle, so according to the rules, it can't attack unless it's a creature. And Weatherlight does not have crew. I saw a comment, actually, Morrow commenting on the spoiler post on Reddit for this card, and him saying, yes, mechanically and lore-wise, both. It doesn't have a crew anymore. So in the story, it doesn't have a crew, and the card design does not have crew. As long as it have 4 or more of its counters on it, it becomes a creature. And to get counters on it, a creature you control has to die. It's whenever a creature you control dies, it can be a token. Put a Phyresis counter on it, and then draw a card if it has 7 or more on it. And if it doesn't, scry 1. So it's a really wordy way, in my opinion, to say, and I'm not a designer, so I'm sure they worded it the best they could, but early on, when a thing dies, when a creature you control dies, you get to scry 1. Then once it has 4 counters on it, it becomes a flying 5/5 creature. And then once it has 7 counters on it, you get to draw a card whenever a creature you control dies.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Let's set aside the fact that it becomes a creature, a flying 5/5, because I think that's probably the worst thing on this card.
Yeah, because then it can be removed, right?
Yeah, you essentially want to play this as a draw engine.
Right.
That's what it works for. I do see in chat, Bobby Z is saying it's great for aristocrats. I do agree.
Obviously.
So yeah, as like a 2-cost artifact that just sits on the battlefield that's going to allow you to scry and draw cards, that it's good. So is it $20 good? I don't know. I don't know.
It's a mythic piece of a very popular archetype in Commander. And so the Tevesh Zat player in me, that's been one of my favorite decks that I built this year, was my Tevesh Zat deck. And the Tevesh Zat deck in me goes, oh wow, I can get this 2 mana draw engine online so fast. I can just sack Thralls, which is something I already want to do to get value off of all my other value stuff. But then once this is out and 7 things have died, you're drawing cards. That just seems really strong. Obviously, I kind of am with you.
It's going to play like a Necropotence. I mean, maybe it's like seriously just going to fill your hand up so ridiculously once you get to that point in the game.
Every single time something dies,
Every time a creature dies. Yeah, maybe it is going to be just an absolute powerhouse, but it really doesn't do anything by itself, which is, I think, what people will complain about is, it's like by itself, it's just a blank.
For sure. But look at cards like the Monument, the uncommon enchantment that got printed into Ikoria. No, it's not Monument. What's the name of that card? It's it creates a 1/1 soldier when it comes into play, and then it also has the aristocrats text on it. When something dies, you lose 1 life, you gain 1 life.
Yeah, it's a black enchantment, uncommon.
Right, Bastion. Thank you very much, chat. Bastion of Remembrance. This is the kind of card that, like, at least it creates a 1/1. It does do that, but there's a lot of pieces that just enter the battlefield and sit on the battlefield for an aristocrat strategy. So
that's true.
The potential for it to just be a 2 mana every single time something dies. I mean, imagine playing this and then playing Damnation and killing 7 or more creatures, period. You're gonna it's going to turn, no, 4 or more creatures. It's going to turn into a creature as a result of your board wipe. So you're left with a 5/5 flyer after a damnation. And then you've got the 7 or more counters on it eventually.
Well, that's kind of interesting. Yeah.
That's kind of a backdoor board wipe survival. It's weird.
Yeah, essentially, I see this as you're going to draw 4 cards before it gets removed. That's kind of like the vibe I get from it, is you're going to play this, and then as soon as it becomes a creature, it's going to get aced.
Seriously, that's the thing that it's funny. On my second look at this, and with your opinion on top of it, I think the part I like the least is that it turns into a creature. And look, in the show notes, I was like, oh man, Jake freaking loves Peace Walker Colossus. So if we combine this with Peace Walker Colossus, we got, and this is more of a constructed play.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Now that actually is,
I knew you would love this.
I mean, that is not bad.
This is kind of interesting,
a 5/5
right?
5 that you can animate, just like
make it a creature.
Interesting. That's interesting. I wish it had a fun attacks trigger or something like that.
Yeah,
since
something.
It's so difficult to turn on. That is interesting though.
I was really interested to see how you would react to a combo of like turn 2, and again, this is more of like a constructed play. This isn't so much a commander play.
Oh yeah, sure.
You play Weatherlight completed turn 2. Turn 3, you're playing Peace Walker Colossus. Next turn, you're swinging with a 5/5 flyer that you're getting more value off of in other ways. It's kind of, it's kind of medium, but it's kind of interesting. There's this new card printed called Astor, Bearer of Blades. Vehicles you control have crew 1. So if this is on the battlefield, if you play this on turn 4, Astor, and you already have Weatherlight completed on the battlefield, and this is in standard. This will be in standard. So you play this turn 4 after your turn 2 or turn 3 Weatherlight, and you can use immediately. You can use Astor to crew Weatherlight and start swinging in. Am I analyzing that wrong? That's how those act, right?
ETBs, it's a 4/4. It enters the battlefield. Look at the top 7 cards. You may reveal an equipment or vehicle. I mean, that's deep. 7 cards is pretty much like find something, anything.
Right.
Put the rest on the bottom. Okay. Equipment you control have equip 1, and vehicles you control have crew 1. I definitely see this as like a 2 or a 3 of in some sort of constructed vehicles pioneer thing. I don't know if it makes it into like a Mardu Greasefang. Maybe it does.
Well, you know what card is already sort of in those formats is Colossus Hammer, with ways to cheat Colossus Hammer onto things. How about we cheat the fact that its equip is now 1 instead of 8?
That's just redundancy for Hammer Time.
Exactly.
That's just like a little piece of redundancy. I think this card should at least be a 2 of in those decks.
Right.
Because if you're trying to get that online, a lot of the time it doesn't work out. I know that it's 4 costs. That's the thing where this card falls short. Is it's expensive. It's at the top of the curve of most like pioneer modern decks.
Right.
You really don't want a lot of 4-drops. So from that perspective, it makes sense that the ability it gives is very good. You're getting that equip, and you're getting that crew for cheap.
I saw some people in chat mentioning Mech Hanger in combination with Weatherlight. They will also be in standard together. Turning for 3 mana, turning a target vehicle into an artifact creature until end of turn. That is not irrelevant. I think there could be a potential fun deck here.
Yeah.
With Weatherlight completed. I think this is kind of an interesting card, because I think people are going to be overhyped, but some of the interactions are actually hype worthy for me. As an Aristocrats piece, I like it. When we start talking about it's good in a very powerful, popular archetype in Commander, and it's a potential 2, 3 of, 4 of if the entire strategy's all in on it and you're counting on it getting removed, even though it's legendary, running 3, 4 of. This is the kind of card that if it's got commander playability, it's also got constructed, especially expanded constructed format playability. 2 mana, Mythic. I mean, the potential is here, as far as I know. You know,
I mean, the mana
clip
cost, the mana value is really good for being, you know, it's from a competitive standpoint, you want something that's low cost.
Right.
I don't know if it's super powerful. I do think Aristocrats wants it.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, this is the kind of video
Unreal
that
says
will...
it's trash, whatever.
Seriously, we may look at, I can clip this in 6 months and be like, wow, what you can pick up Weatherlight completed for $4 right now for your Aristocrats deck. Enjoy.
I mean, let's just say this. I want to kind of remind people that when we last went to Dominaria, everybody freaked out over Weatherlight, and look at the price of that card now. And it's a precon card. It just shows up in the precon.
Yep. So it's been in, it was printed in the Dominaria. It's now a 45-cent Mythic.
Yeah.
Because it was also printed on the list and printed in the Neon Dynasty Commander deck.
Everybody was like, oh my God, look at it. It only costs 4. And you're going to be able to get historic cards and dig through your deck. And it's easy to crew and all this stuff. But it doesn't really do anything by itself. It's just whatever. And it needs to deal combat damage. Now this other one is a static artifact. It's doing something just passively in the background that you don't need to soak any mana into, which is kind of cool. That's what's better. And it only costs 2 to get it on the field. So this one is already leagues ahead of 45 cents, but I don't know. Is it going to be a $3 card? Is it going to be a $6 card? I don't think it's worth $20, just in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe 10 or 15. Yeah, interesting. But Weatherlight completed, I really like the flavor. I really like the callback. It's showing up again as a new version. Very cool. You know, let us know in the comments if you think this card is good or bad.
You know, Michael A., you bring up a good point. Any card under $1 shouldn't be on the list. Change my mind. No one needs to. That makes perfect sense.
Not going to argue with you on that one. Brian Richards, member token creature for 21 months, has been enjoying that +1/+1 flying. First strike, haste, indestructible, badge here, badge on Discord for a long time.
Oh, I'm going to make a note because I had started working on those badges and I have the first couple done.
Nice.
But I need to make a note that I need to go back and finish the badges for these folks for these streams. If you have a badge right now, it is going to change.
But it's going to have more of a thought to it, not just be colors. It should be cooler on the other side. Yes. So Brian Richards, thank you for being a member for 21 months. You are the man. Also a longtime patron. Love the support, bro. Thank you so much. Dominaria, is that a VD? Very possible. Actually, I think that's what happened to Weatherlight completed here, is that Weatherlight, there was too many people doing too much fucking down in the hole.
I think that Weatherlight...
That's one of the weirder things I'm ever going to say on stream.
I think Weatherlight having a mind of its own and being its own like creature is really cool. It's just like this thing that's like, I no longer need anybody to pilot me. It's like, it's kind of grown into a bug. I kind of get like this like evil dragonfly vibe from it.
Evil dragonfly vibe? I can see that.
Kind of in like it looks kind of like an ornithopter.
Yeah.
It looks, you know what it kind of looks like to me? It looks like one of the, what is that thing?
You're talking about
not a Mutalisk.
A Dilophosaurus? Oh, I thought you were talking about that thing from Jurassic Park that's got the that pop out and then it shoots tar in your eyes.
Hold on.
Holding.
I think it looks like
the Event Horizon ship. Does it look like it doesn't look like the Event Horizon ship.
I think it looks kind of like one of the flying Zerg units.
It's similar-ish.
All right, here we go. Let me look at this. Here we go. I got the Zerg units here. It looks like a worker. It looks like a Zerg worker. Look that up. That's what it looks like to me.
These guys, oh yeah, dude. You know what these guys look like? These guys look like the ships from Independence Day. The alien ships from Independence Day.
Yeah. It looks kind of like an overlord, like a Zerg overlord. And kind of like a Zerg queen as well, in a way. It just has like that kind of vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Zerg is kind of, I would say that Zerg and Phyrexians aren't that far off as far as like design and thought goes, right? They are one hive mind. They kind of deal with poison and oils, and that's how they replicate. You say it's not that far off.
It does look kind of like a Mutalisk, yeah. 2 times the Zerg drone, yes. Yes.
Okay, Jake, what I want to talk about is we just talked about a possibly really good Mythic. We're kind of like, we'll wait and see.
Let's just do a Mythic review. I want to review the Mythics that have been printed. I just want to look at what they gave us so far. What do we got?
Okay, let's start with Karn Living Legacy here. We'll look at
how many total are there so far out of our 15? Because typically we get 15 per set, I think. Chat, are we right about 15? I think it changes for like premium sets and master sets, but I think normally it's 15 Mythics a set, right?
So far we've seen 18.
Oh, we've seen 8. Holy shit, I'm way wrong. We've seen 18. So some of those had to have come from the pre-con decks.
No. This is all just the main set.
15 is the past, bro. Jeez, I need to get with it. When did it change? 15 is standard, says K-Spice. Are some of those Mythics...
So tomorrow is the last day of spoilers. So Friday we'll have the full thing dropped on there. Obviously we do like a full Mythic review, but we've got 18 so far of our
18
that we've seen so far. Jake, we've got to take a look at Karn Living Legacy. I want to look at all the Mythics, but I want to talk about Karn Living Legacy because we have got quite a few Karn Planeswalkers that have seen relevant play across many formats. And looking at Living Legacy, this just seems terrible to me. And I wanted to discuss it with you in chat and see if I can change my mind on this being terrible. Because, I mean, look, it's dropped for $20 right now. The main version is 17 market, and we've got like a showcase version with really cool art from RK Post for like 20. But it's a 4 mana, 4 loyalty walker. You +1 it to create a tapped Power Stone token. It's an artifact with tap, add a colorless. This mana can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell. So it can't. It can only cast artifact spells, but it can be used to, activated abilities. You can use it for that. You can use it to.
In an artifacts matters where you just want artifacts on the battlefield, this card works for that because it just makes passive artifact tokens that just sit there.
Yeah, so it would count the artifact token and it would help you pay for further artifacts you want to cast.
Sure. Yeah, so from that perspective, this card is going to help you cheat out a lot of artifacts. The -1 is pay any amount of mana, look at that many cards from the top of your library, then put one of those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Typical Planeswalker velocity spell.
But I like that it's -1. Yeah, it's pay any amount for a -1 instead of a -X. Look at the top of that many. I mean, if you can make infinite mana somehow, or honestly, you can use your Power Stones to do this. It's not casting a spell. It's paying any amount. It's an active, it's an ability. So if you can make infinite mana
can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell.
Doesn't say anything about abilities.
Use it for this, right?
No, you can. It doesn't say anything about abilities or activated abilities or anything like that. You can still use it. You just can't cast spells that aren't artifacts. There's my double negative for the night.
Oh, got it. Okay, so you can use it for stuff. Got it. I see.
But if you can make with Karn, if you can make infinite mana and -1 them, -1 Karn, you can get whatever combo piece you need out of your library.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of interesting.
You know, there's a lot of ways to use infinite mana to win the game, but if you
and
have
then artifacts have ping, if you can get it to -7, that's a reasonable loyalty to get it to.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, you're right. It's not unreasonable at all. Honestly, tap an untapped artifact you control. This emblem deals a damage to any target, so it's an emblem, so it's not going anywhere once you can activate it. You know, turn 1 you play it. I'll say the first turn you play it, you take it up to 5. Second turn you take it up to 6. Third turn you take it up to 7, and then the fourth turn after it's been out, unless you've proliferated or unless it's been attacked at, or just straight up removed, you'll be able to get your emblem. And I would assume with Karn Living Legacy, if you're building a deck around this and trying to get that emblem, that you don't care if you lose the Karn. You just want to get that emblem so that you basically are going to win the game.
All right, so let's look at this and compare it to the previous 4-cost Karn.
Yeah.
Let's look at Karn. Actually, let's look at Karn Great Creator. Or yeah, this is fine.
So we've got four walkers now that are Karn.
All right, so let's not even worry about Karn Liberated.
No,
it's 7 costs. It's really good.
It wins games. It's been played in multiple formats. But Great Creator, yeah, this is Jake. This is actually the one I was interested in comparing it to, because this one seems way better to me.
Yeah, so as for a price comparison, this is a card from an older set, and it's a card that's around $20 right now by itself. It looks like you can get a copy of it for $15. Activated abilities of artifacts your opponent's control can't be activated. Nice static ability. You don't even have to use anything to get that.
Love it.
And then it has a +1 that says until your next turn, up to 1 target non-creature artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with power and toughness, each equal to its converted mana cost, which is it's pretty good. And then you may choose an artifact card you own from outside the game.
This one.
Or in exile, reveal that card and put it into your hand. So this is a card that gives you a ton of sideboard opportunity. You can kind of build around this. It's a toolbox.
Right.
So I think this card has a lot more versatility, and it's pretty much the same price as the card that we're looking at right now, which seems a lot more narrow.
You get more loyalty. It has a passive ability of just turning off your opponent's artifacts, period.
Yeah.
It can make a creature, technically.
Oh, yeah, and it's not a mythic. That's true.
And it's not even a mythic. That's what I'm saying. I just, like, obviously the Chris Ron art on this, super dope. Love it.
Yeah.
Loved it since I saw it. But as far as that, comparing to Karn the Great Creator, there is no comparison. But we do know that Planeswalkers in War of the Spark were pushed and were given passive abilities.
That's true. That's probably one of the things that's really appealing about this card. But the main thing that this card, the reason why it's such a house, is that -2.
Right.
You can just perfectly tune your sideboard to get exactly what you want with it.
This one saw a little bit of play. This was the last time Karn was a mythic, was in our first revisit to Dominaria. +1, reveal top 2. Opponent says that one goes in your hand and that one gets exiled with a counter. You -1 to put a card you own with that counter from exile into your hand. And then your -2, it doesn't really have an ultimate so much as it has a -2 in addition to its other, +1, -1 abilities that creates a construct that starts as a 1/1 based on only checking itself, and then any of your other artifacts on the battlefield give it another +1/+1 each. So
yeah,
this one though, $8. Is it still seeing play? Is Karn Scion
so
seeing
I'll
like
be honest,
modern
I played
Pioneer?
against this card a little bit, but the thing about it is whenever a card lets your opponent choose, that's kind of like a recipe for disaster, right?
Yeah.
Because unless you hit 2 cards that are absolute gas, which sometimes it does, then this card is, you can kind of play around it. It doesn't really have any sort of like back-breaking ability. It has velocity, which is cool, but you have to like kind of set things up with the +1, then you need to get him to where you're able to use the -1. That way you can actually get something with a silver counter. So the card is just kind of dirtily. It doesn't really appeal to me that much. I like the Great Creator the most. That's like probably like the best Karn other than Karn Liberated, which is another tier because it's a 7-cost planeswalker. It's
for
just,
sure.
Yeah.
7 cost, 6 loyalty. But yeah, I mean, Karn Living Legacy, it's interesting to me. Obviously, a lot of people, the main conversation I saw around this card was that this is one of the worst planeswalkers ever printed, period. I don't think it's like the absolute worst. I do know that I mean, you can read it. It's significantly powered down.
It does not protect itself. It does not really have...
There's no removal built in. Other than you can dig down and look for removal, but you have to... I mean, essentially,
it doesn't do a lot of the things that we look for on a planeswalker, honestly, man. It's like...
If you're using that -1, you want to pay all the mana you have available, right? Because you want to give yourself the best option, unless you're like playing 2 and out. Like, let's say you're digging for Doomblade or whatever. You want to leave 2 mana open, so you're paying every mana but 2 to dig down and try and find your 2 mana removal.
Food Time says it's no Tibble. That's right.
It is no Tibble. It is no Tibble. This is a tier above Tibble. I will give it that. It's interesting to me.
I think in an Artifacts Matters where you want to go wide, I mean, I just don't even know if like an artifact centric commander deck even wants it, you know? Maybe they do.
This is silly to me. Okay, so the Power Stones that you make from Karn add 1 colorless that can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell. Worn Power Stone taps for 2. A Shard of Power Stones adds a mana for each artifact you control. Name Power Stone Shard. And Fractured Power Stone lets you roll the plan or die in addition to it, and can tap to use the colorless for anything you want it to be. It's funny to me that that Karn makes shittier Power Stones than exist. A Worn Power Stone and a Fractured one is better. Or even a Shard can be better in the right circumstances. Karn, what have you been doing, bud? What are you doing?
I mean, it is a card that makes mana rocks. So let's just think about it like that. It is a card that makes mana rocks. So I think somebody can figure something out that's going to want to do that. I just don't know if it's really... if it's there.
Yeah, I don't think it's there. I don't think it's there. Cool art, though. Chris Ron really knocked it out of the park with this art.
Yeah, cool
He's
art.
like, look over there.
Right.
What do you think he's looking at? What do you think he's pointing to?
Better Karns.
He's like, that version of me is better.
Yeah.
And then
that's the vibe.
And it pans over to...
Karn needs to change his diet if he's passing those kind of kidney stones.
It's like, look over there. There's my Karn the Great Creator version.
So this card's like, I can get anything you need, baby.
Seriously.
That 1 single copy of Meteor Golem, I got you.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. Pithing Needle, got it. Grafdigger's Cage, got it. You know, like, it does whatever you need.
Yeah. All right, let's look at the next Mythic. What else do we have here? There was one comment that I kind of wanted to highlight, and this was funny. And I didn't want to interrupt early on, but this was...
I will look at those in a second.
Was it Keith? Let me see here. And it looks like a Mutalisk. Was it before all the Mutalisk talk? Maybe it was. I went through. All right. Well, somebody said, oh, here it is. This set really hasn't made me go, damn, son. It looks like a singles pickup set. And, you know, I have to agree. The thing about the set that is supposed to make you go, damn, son, is the Legends cards that are inserted. That's my opinion. That and the Liliana of the Veil is supposed to be the way that the set sells. It's like, come get your lilies.
Well, it's given a lot of fun.
There's
a lot of new fun commanders.
There are fun commanders and stuff like that, but really to like the layman who hasn't really dug deep into the set might just be like, oh, what Legends cards? The reserve list is in a new standard set. I'm just a collector who really only focuses on older stuff. maybe that is going to perk up some different people that are more interested in it. But yeah, other than that, clearly the Legends cards and the Liliana the Veil, big deal.
So I want to do an individual segment on Timeless Lotus and Liliana the Veil, so we'll save those for in a little bit. Jake, looking at Mythics though, Sarah Paragon, have you seen this one? 2 white, 2 other, for a 3/4 flying angel. Once during each of your turns, you may play a land from your graveyard or cast a permanent spell with mana value 3 or less. A permanent! It's not just checking for creatures. It says any permanent. Remove the O-ring. Sorry, O-ring is back. If you do cast a permanent spell with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard, it gains, when this permanent is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, exile it so you can't get a little weird loop going with Sarah Paragon, and you gain 2 life. Just okay. Thank you for the 2 life.
And if you can flash that permanent that you bring in, then it's going to lose that clause.
Exactly.
It's going to forget that clause. So that's kind of interesting as well.
This is one of my favorite mythics that I have seen from the set. I think this is so powerful. I think that this will go into a lot of commander decks with white.
I was reading it, and at first I was like, okay, is it a card that just Angels wants? And I don't think so. I think it can go in other stuff, and that's good.
Absolutely. 3 CMC permanent? 3 CMC permanent?
Yeah.
If it was just creatures, I'm on a completely different level. I'm like, oh, it's great in creature decks or Angel Tribal, or probably even like a humans deck if you want to do that. But 3 mana value permanent? You know
and
how
it's
many...
not even restrictive to a certain phase either. You can just play this and then get the ability right afterwards, which is kind of cool.
Exactly.
It's very strong. Actually, this is probably one of the best cards in the set.
I agree completely.
It's just redundancy.
I agree
good
completely.
Redundancy.
It is
it's good.
So good. I want to see what it's previewing for right now. Sarah Paragon. 25 and 32. So yeah. The market.
Okay, so people already see that it's good. It's good because you get extra use. You get static use out of your graveyard. And then even when it gets exiled, which is definitely downside after you've used it twice.
Right.
You're gaining 2 life. So it has some life gain built into it as well. Because why not? It could have just gained when this permanent leaves or is put to a graveyard from the battlefield, exile it. But instead, why not? You gain 2 life as well. Enjoy the 2 life. The card's gone. It's just value. Yeah, it's value.
It's so much value.
I think this card is good, and the secondary market price reflects it. Will it dip? Maybe a little bit. Yeah, probably.
Dude, look at this.
I think it could probably go to 15s. Will it go back up? Maybe so.
Looking at the playable commander cards.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, these are all good.
I mean, any of these, your opponents are going to be like, they're going to be trying to get around Darksteel Mutation. They're going to be trying to get all that glitters off the battlefield. Aura of Silence. When you sack it, you can destroy artifact or enchantment, bring it back with Sarah Paragon. Sigarda's Aid. They are going to be trying to remove this.
And it's once during each of your turns.
So
you don't really have to... Yeah, I mean... Yeah, the potential is there for it to be just insane. It's not like you get one thing, which would actually be pretty good, you know?
And this, Jake, I'm just only looking at enchantments here. Like, this is not taking into account artifacts or creatures. And obviously, it also will do lands. And so you really want to get Degenerate? I mean, this plus, like, what is it? Sinkhole?
Sure.
I really think that this one has a lot of potential. I think that this will be one of the ones when you open it, especially in extended, that will be an excellent pull. This is one of the mythics that you really want to look to pull because it's not even legendary, dude.
Exactly. And BuzzFuzz has it right. It says put it into a blink deck and it essentially removes the exile clause. So
I'm telling you, I got my absolute crap kicked in by a Brago deck by our editor Joe earlier in the year.
Yeah, Brago wants this card.
Dude, how much value this deck
Big PP
can absolutely, how much value this deck can absolutely grind out.
Yeah,
it's just an insane card. I really love Sarah Paragon. It's not, it's like It's like Sun Titan on steroids. It's like Sun Titan, but it flies. And we'll get...
Yeah, but you do have to cast the spell, where Sun Titan, you're just getting something
Straight
for free
up.
on the attack. It comes out earlier. But yeah, if it's mana value 3 or less, then it's not even that mana intensive anyway. Yeah, it seems very good. I would rate this card an A.
Oh yeah.
Is it worth buying on pre-sale? I don't think so. No. El Guapo, keep in mind, this set is going to be massively opened because you're going to have people that want the Legends cards. So you're going to have variants popping up, just a slew of variants. So give it some time. I bet you could score a copy for like $15. Just give it a little bit. Not financial advice.
Recasting Esper Sentinel for 1 mana when it inevitably gets caught in a side swipe of a board wipe.
I mean, the thing about this card is, yeah, it pretty much casts every single ED or CEDH permanent in the format.
Seriously.
But is it good enough at 4 mana to be in CEDH?
Right. Actually, that's what I was gonna say. It's so funny that it interacts so well with so much CEDH permanents, but a lot of CEDH too is not running a ton of permanents. A few. I mean, and it's not color restrictive, so if somehow you've got like a junk food chain deck going, I mean, it'll recast food chain if somebody aces it.
A junky Nagila deck. That's where it would go.
Right.
But I don't think Nagila would even want it. However, from a casual standpoint, it casts pretty much everything in EDH that's worth a shit. You know, you get back your Eternal Witness gets something else back.
Dog, imagine this with Lurrus. Look at this. Look at how much this has been banned. Yeah. During each of your turns, you may cast 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard. So this is...
Yeah, this couldn't go with Lurrus, though, because of the converted.
Well, it could go with Lurrus if you're running Lurrus as a 4-of in the deck and not as your companion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That companion ability is the only thing that holds it back. And so, I mean...
Sadly, you would have to play this in Vintage, Historic, or Commander.
Right, yeah. Not really going to work, but those would be crazy together. Yeah, I mean,
if it was abandoned everything, yeah.
The 4 seems really calculated, because I bet they saw Lurrus at 3. And
Nickel, there's some Lurrus builds that are probably pretty strong. They're all very low to the ground.
Yeah, Lurrus is like just I mean, during each of your turns you may cast 1 permanent spell with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard. In the right deck, black-white's got to be a black-white deck plus. Black-white plus, but
you get a slew of really good tutors. You get a slew of really good removal with the paths, the swords, all of that. You
survivability, ghost form. Kaya's ghost form is played pretty widely in Commander at this point.
Yeah, you get a lot of really good stuff from Lurrus. But what's cool is, as a commander, you don't have to worry about that 2 CMC, so you can have a few other things in the deck that are higher than that.
Yeah,
being able to get stuff back is good.
As a partner, yeah, I don't, or as a companion, I don't like it as a companion in the deck, but in the 99, sure, rock and roll.
Yeah, Lurrus with the new black-white legend is crazy. We'll have to look at that one.
I believe that we will see this card do big things. This is the one I think that has the highest ceiling of all the cards, of all the mythics that we've seen.
I think Latvi, dude. I think Liliana of the Veil, probably.
Well, yeah, but that's a proven entity.
Oh, you mean of newer stuff?
Yeah, of the new stuff. I think this has got the highest ceiling of like possible Pioneer playability. Modern is kind of pushing it. 4 is kind of high for that. You're not going to see 4 of probably in Modern.
It's a strong ability in Modern. It is, because it stabilizes you with the life gain.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the kind of thing where once you get to that part of your deck, yeah, it could have some Pioneer playability. I think so, especially when you need certain things from your graveyard that might be important to your your strategy, whether it's a combo centric strategy. Maybe you just want to get a Saheeli back, for example.
Right.
Or wait, no, did Saheeli get the axe in Pioneer? I think it did.
Saheeli, yeah. Or did the cat?
No, I think the cat got it. Saheeli's still legal. So yeah, if you're trying to, clearly you killed the Saheeli when you're playing against Saheeli.
Yeah, they axed the cat. They did the same thing they did when it was standard legal. They just kill the cat instead of the mythic planeswalker.
Yeah. So essentially, I mean, whenever you print a card like that cat, it just gets degenerate. I like how much it could help that angel that enchants from your graveyard. Clay, what's up, man? Nice to see you.
Yeah, we'll see how Sarah Paragon does. Let us know in the comments if you like this mythic. Little tag on that one. Have you seen, Jake, have you seen Karn's Silex yet?
No, I haven't. I'm reading it right now.
Are you familiar with Pernicious Deed?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
3 cost, legendary artifact, enters the battlefield tapped. Players, including you, can't pay life to cast spells or to activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. This is a big FU to Phyrexian mana.
Yeah.
Or, some very powerful pay life abilities in Commander, quite honestly.
Cool. And then it has an X and a tap. Exile Karn's Silex. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value X or less. Activate only as a sorcery. So it has a... I mean, this is a pretty strong effect. An exile effect on an artifact. Even when it exiles itself, it's pretty good.
Fetches? Yeah, it turns off fetches. You're right. You're right, Michael. It absolutely does turn off fetches. Activate abilities that aren't mana abilities, because that's a search ability. That's not a mana ability that you're acting on a fetch land there. The reason I brought up Pernicious Deed is because Pernicious Deed saw a lot of play in its time. X, sack it. Destroy, so not exile, that's relevant. Each artifact, creature, and enchantment with converted mana cost X or less.
Yeah, it's a versatile. You can manipulate the board. You can play around this effect.
3
type
mana
of board wipe that you can kind of pick and choose is going to be strong.
Also 3 mana, but Pernicious was a black and a green. This is colorless. This can go in any deck.
I mean, this is a pretty big deal for all of the decks that don't have board wipe potential. And what's cool about it... Oh, no, never mind. It does enter the battlefield tap. Whoopsie.
ETBs. ETBs tap, but look,
Deadly Crouton has it right. New place in the Karn wish board, 100%.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's interesting to me. This one seems more hype than a few of the mythics that we've seen that are pre-ordering for like $20. And it's only pre-ordering for $12 right now. I'm not recommending you go out and buy a bunch of these cards. This is not financial advice. It's just interesting to me. It does shut off Necropotence.
It still enters the battlefield tapped, like a lot of these effects. Niven Ural's Disc.
Yeah, Niven Ural's is the main comparison that I would think.
Oblivion Stone. Oh, wait. Does Oblivion Stone enter the battlefield tapped? It doesn't, does it? Oh my god, I'm so out of it. I'm tired.
But you do have to put fate counters on it, so it's 7 mana of an investment right out of the gate. If you want to cast it immediately, you're destroying your own board, and it's 8 mana all at once. But if you do, it's 7 mana and an extra turn.
That's
save
what it
at least
was.
One of your
it's
things.
Girdly. Yeah, it does shut off Necropotence.
Yeah, Karn Silex is very interesting.
That's one of those cards. Honestly, Joel, that is one of those cards that I think players will find to be really freaking annoying to play against. And so you're going to have people that want it. It's like one of those things that's just annoying on the battlefield. You know, I kind of put it in the same class as like a Winter Orb in a way, because it's like, it's just salty, and there's going to be players that don't really know how to deal with it, that have to play against it, that are like, wait, I can't use my fetch lands. Wait, I can't use this. Why can't I use this? Oh, Karn Silex. And then you read the card and it's not really even that obvious to most players. They have to be like, oh wait, how? So I think any card that's kind of shuts off mechanics of the game is worth considering for a collection. I definitely think it's worth having a copy of this card if you want to put it into something that's particularly brutal or kind of pesky.
For sure. Andrew S had an excellent note. I read the card wrong. This exiles itself and then destroys each non-land permanent. It does.
It doesn't exile
the permanents.
That's right. Yeah, it exiles itself and then destroys. Sorry, chat. I read that wrong as well.
And it can't be
destroy
instant
is
speed,
still
but
good. Destroy is still good in different in stuff like, for example, a mono green deck. I could see wanting this. Colors that don't typically have board wipe built in. So your non-white, non-black decks. Blue would like to have a copy of this card. It's just a board wipe.
I mean, obviously, there's always effects like this. I saw somebody in chat bring up this card.
Mm-hmm.
If you need it.
Fun fact, I remember when we were drafting this set, Joel, and these were like 60 cents a piece, and everybody would, you would find this in so many binders, and everybody's like, card sucks. Like, no one wanted it, and this was before Commander really took off.
I'm pretty sure I dumped all of them that I had at like $5 to $10 because I was like, there's no way this card goes higher than $5 or $10.
Yeah, it's
whoopsie.
Yeah. It used to be junk. It used to just be trash.
You want to talk about LOTV?
Oh yeah, we could talk about Liliana the Veil, but it's really just, hey, it's Liliana the Veil. It's really good. It's probably going to shake up Pioneer. That's kind of where I'm at with this card. This card has kind of been on the outs of Modern, which kind of says a lot about the power creep in this game. That Modern really is just like, can we play Liliana of the Veil? I see it in sideboards sometimes in some Modern decks.
Yeah.
But it just hasn't really been as much of a format warping card as it used to be. It used to be like a Jund staple. But also in Modern, Tarmogoyf has kind of been on the outs. So like if Tarmogoyf, because of cards like Fatal Push and, all these different like Prismatic Ending, all of these cards that come out, I mean, it just powers up each format. So the fact that Liliana almost isn't fitting into Modern is crazy, but it is definitely, in my opinion, going to make some waves in Pioneer.
Yeah, I think that is the most relevant piece of this, is that obviously in Standard, it's going to be played. It's going to find a home. Pioneer, that'll depend on the cards around it. Pioneer, the card pool is big enough where it's definitely going to find a home, maybe have a deck built around it if there's not already a home for it. But this is a card that's been living in the $60 and $70 range just for base copies of it. Now we're looking at...
It's a celebrity card.
Right. We got showcase
it's essentially
version,
like
base copy here. This one's pre-ordering for like
Julia
48.
Roberts. Everybody's going to be excited whenever it's Meryl Streep, dude. It's just like, oh yeah, they're great in everything that they're in. They're just great. So it's like, this is the cash grab, in my opinion. This is the card that sells the set. It's just like, oh, okay, it's that card. So she's great.
Pre-ordering right now at 47. Jake, when we first saw this, you had a really good comp for it, and that was Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Also a Mythic Planeswalker that was printed into a standard set. This one at the time, I don't believe, I'm gonna need to go check it on MTG stocks, but I don't believe that this one... Yeah, it crested at 30. Oh, that's for this version. Let's go and look at the Fate Reforged version. Here we go. Crested above 70 in 2019.
That's when you would have had a lot of Tron. So keep in mind all of the sets that came out since 2019. And Tron has kind of not been as much of a force. So like the people that wanted multiple Eugenes, what is good about Eugene, the thing that you should keep in mind is Eugene that's a commander card.
Right.
In my opinion, big mana does kind of want this because it has that flexible -X that allows you to exile certain things. That's what is good about
exile certain things. Every single permanent that's one or more colors.
No, that's what I mean is it's flexible though because of
Gotcha.
the X.
Oh,
so
yeah,
say
yeah.
you have something on your board that's 5 and
Right.
everything else on everybody else's board is like, well, let's get rid of all the forecast and below. So
Right.
I do like board wipe being built into a planeswalker. The other thing that's cool about this is its plus ability is just freaking great too.
Insane,
Everything this card does is nuts.
Yeah. It's 8 mana. I mean, you're looking at the recent decks, maybe played still in green Trons because they can ramp up to that 8 cost that walker is as quickly as possible. That's in Modern. Kind of represented in Pioneer. Doubtful that it's really being played in Legacy that much. But look, this card, Jake talked about when it was relevant. When it got reprinted here in July of 20 in M21, you're looking at a price significantly drop, come back up when it was playable again.
Got like 4 variants. It got the base copy,
Right.
it got the foil copy, it got a borderless, it got an alternate art. I mean, it's hard for a card to survive after that. When you print it in a bunch of different.
Yep. M21 itself, if you want to count the pre-release card as a version, gave it 5 different versions. Obviously, you know, a lot of people
There's
don't
a promo pack.
Right. Nobody really counts the promo pack version or the preview version, but these 3, this is, oh man, remember these times?
It's hard for a card to keep its price after you print it that many times, and that's okay. You know, like this card doesn't need to be super expensive.
Right. But look, it still holds over 20, and that's really the comparison that I want to look at, because it's a Mythic Planeswalker that was played and now has been reprinted with multiple versions. Look at this.
Well,
over 100.
here, indulge me for just a second. Will you just look at the modern top 8 metagame? Let's just look at, for example, MTG Goldfish. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure we're not even going to see Modern or Tron even in the top 8 anymore these days.
Mono green is 4. It is 8th.
Yeah, so Tron used to be a huge percentage of the metagame. And then when you had Modern Horizons 2 came out, Murktide Regent really took off. Hammer Time's been a thing. But like the only decks I can really see here that are like Affinity used to be such a big chunk of the meta. And now you can see the meta.
Affinity.
Like there's no black even in here, you guys. So like Blue Living End, that doesn't want Liliana.
This is a money pile. This is Murktide and Ragavan. You know, I'm interested if mono green, they're only running 2 copies of Ugin because they're running 4 Liberated and 4 Great Creator.
Yeah, everybody wants the versatility of Karn Great Creator.
Right.
The problem is that Liliana she's not fast enough. She does great things, but she's not fast enough. And here's the thing is that Liliana in Commander loses a lot of potency as well. And the reason is just it's not that big of an ability in a 1v1 competitive nature. Giving an opponent hand disadvantage is a really big deal. Having target player or each player discard a card when you can build around that and your opponent can't deal with that, like that's a pretty big deal. The sack a creature is awesome if you're able to build it into the right kind of strategy where, you know, having them sacrifice can get around indestructible. It can get around certain abilities, but maybe it does see a big price correction. Maybe it goes to like, 40s. Maybe it goes to high 30s after this. I just don't see Commander wanting it.
Right. And
it's kind of on the decline in Modern. But it is good in Pioneer. I think it will do something in Pioneer.
Yeah, we'll see. Innistrad version topped out all-time high.
Yeah,
nearing 130. As it lost potency, you can see it dropping down in the 50-60 range, but it hits this 50 line and bounces off.
Yeah, so what came out? I mean, essentially,
Time Spiral Remastered, Kaldheim. Did a card from Kaldheim or from Zendikar Rising?
Modern Horizons really shook things up. You could see one of the 2 big sets that I see that contributed to the decline were in July of 2019, around that tick mark there. Mm-hmm. And it's Modern Horizons 1 and War of the Spark. You get Karn the Great Creator and War of the Spark, among some other crazy stuff like Narset. And then in Modern Horizons, you're getting the Crashing Footfalls. You're getting a bunch of new lands that became modern playable.
Yep.
You get Force of Negation. So yeah, I think that was it, and then it just really just kind of gets phased out. I'm not saying it's a bad card, and I'm sure that there's fringe decks that still play it. It's just not a big part of the meta.
I want to check.
Deathrite Shaman gets unbanned. Oh my god, yeah. If Deathrite Shaman got unbanned, but that's the thing, is Deathrite Shaman is not banned in Pioneer, I'm pretty sure.
We have got prices over on TCG Player. By the way, if you're going to buy anything MTG related on TCG Player, please use our affiliate link. Helps us out, helps the channel grow, helps Jake and I go full time on this hopefully very soon. Over on TCG Player, Jake, the cards are all sort of, besides obviously the box topper and the Pro Tour promo version, which has just got a different symbol in his foil. I'm pretty sure nothing else different about it. Still got the Argyle art on it. You're all around the same price. You've got your Ultimate Masters version 45, your OG version 49, your Modern Masters 2017 version 48, and right now this one's pre-ordering at 45. But I have to assume that once this set comes out, I mean, does this get down into like the $20 range, do you think? I mean, let's talk about when we're talking about Scalding Tarn and Misty Rainforest and MH2. Right.
And we said we would love for those cards to get into 30s. Those cards went into 20s.
Dude, I bought all of them when they were like under 25 or less.
Yeah. So maybe it does. This is a Mythic big set, 30-year anniversary set.
Yeah.
It's a card that, yeah, I could see it going high 20s. I could see it being a $30 card. If it's,
and I know
44 right now,
chat and all our viewers on YouTube are gonna go, well, you thought all those cards in Double Masters were gonna go down in price really, really low. Joel said Ragavan was gonna be a $15 card. Look, I didn't know how little of that set. What did I say? You
said Ragavan.
Oh, the other.
No, you said
pirate.
Dockside would hit 20, which was probably and definitely a gross estimation. But the thing is,
this is a standard set that's going to be printed a lot.
Yes, it's going to be printed a lot. It's going to be opened a lot. There's going to be every variant under the sun of Liliana getting open in collector boosters. They're going to show up in set boosters. I think a spec, just based on what we've talked about tonight, not financial advice, would be Deathrite Shaman.
Hoping it gets
Deathrite
unbanned.
Shaman. No, it isn't banned in Pioneer.
Oh, in Pioneer, I see.
Yeah, Deathrite is not banned in Pioneer, and Deathrite and Liliana are like besties.
Yeah, they definitely live in the same deck. Yeah, legal
The
Pioneer.
thing about it, before chat, before you go run and buy all the Deathrite Shamans.
Don't go crazy yet.
Here's the thing. This is it. Deathrite doesn't have that super sexy exile target land from a graveyard ability like it does when you're playing Verdant Catacombs, Windswept Heaths, and all of the fetch lands that go with a powerful Deathrite Shaman deck.
BB&G is saying it in chat right now. Exactly.
It relies heavily on fetches. That's right. So yeah, this is kind of like a sleeper thing. So maybe we could look at lands that are kind of let's look at our Bosejus. Let's look at our Takanumas, because that's the kind of stuff where maybe you can get a little value from the Deathrite Shaman. Deathrite Shaman used to be compared to a Planeswalker for one. It has pretty much every ability you could possibly want. If you are playing Deathrite Shaman into a deck where you're milling a bunch of cards, let's think about that new Lurgoyf that we were just talking about, where you kick it and it mills cards.
Right.
If you have stuff in the graveyard that you can mill, then Deathrite Shaman gets a lot better.
For sure.
It's just like, yeah, for a long time, people are like, fetch lands, Deathrite Shaman, you have to have them. Maybe there's a way that you don't. You can cycle away Rathian's Tower, and then you can exile it.
These from Adventure that turn into creatures, I mean, it's going to be so slow. They're definitely not going to be in your graveyard on turn 1 when you want, or turn 2 when you want Deathrite to be popping off. And Jake, for a second, I was like, oh my god, the flip lands from Zendikar will be so good, but it's going to see a sorcery in the graveyard. It's not going to see a land in the graveyard. But I think you're right on the money with Boseiju. I mean, green is in the deck, so this is playable. You know,
yeah, the blue one as well, or
right here,
the black one,
Otawara.
Takenuma as well. And the other thing to think about is someone in chat just said it. The fetch lands that when they enter, they immediately go away. They immediately sack. That came out of these guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
These
So
here.
if these saw some sort of play, I mean, you do gain life off them as well, which is kind of cool.
Most everybody playing this format is going to see the fact that it enters tapped and completely balk at these. I'd be interested to play test it, but I feel like enters tapped is just going to be too slow in a format that's got shock lands.
Right. That's the negative. But Liliana, as long as it's not broken, it does get better in time. It's one of those planeswalkers that will always be considered. It's like buying part of the S&P 500.
Right.
You're buying a card that's just generically good. It has a name.
Right.
It's like buying fucking Microsoft.
Right. And
it's
that's why I pointed out that every time the Innistrad version gets down to 50, it bounces off that line, goes up a little bit, comes back down. Like if we just want to look at this little right there, that's our sample size. This is in a period where it wasn't being played as much. There was either better stuff or the good stuff around it had gotten banned out. It kept getting down to 50s and it kept getting sold for a little bit more than that when it bounced off. So to your point, you know, it's like now
is not the time to buy it. 100%.
No.
Do not buy this card right now.
Don't get Innistrad version. Wait until the Dominaria United version gets down into the 20s, which I really feel like it's just going to do. I feel like I look at this chart right now and I go, oh, how's it going to go lower? But I feel like every preview card, every chart always has these cards absolutely explode out of the gate. Look at Jin Gataxias even from the beginning of this year.
That card's pretty good, actually.
Like right here, like if you do this, look at this. Look how similar that chart looks to that Liliana the Veil that we were just looking at. But then we give it less than a full year. This one never found a home, so past, you know, like that far, it's a terrible comparison because Liliana is definitely going to have a home, especially in Pioneer.
Definitely better. Yeah,
right. But that means is that it's going to balance out somewhere else, and then it's going to pop back up when it stops being printed.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, any Magic player that gets hip with the fact that, you know, pre-sale hype season is not the time to buy cards. You might have a card like Great Henge where if you're looking at it in the pre-sale hype season and you're like, holy shit, that card's $20. It does like everything, right?
Right.
And then you're like, I'm just going to pre-order a shit ton of Great Henge at $20. Then yeah, you could pat yourself on the back right now. You made a good investment, but that was high risk. You know, players that can evaluate a card and look at Great Henge and go, oh, that's a card that's just absolutely 1,000,000% going to the moon. It's just too good to ignore. If you could get to the point where you can evaluate cards like that, then yeah, you could go, okay, that's a mythic. I'm gaining life. I'm ramping. I'm getting counters. I get all of this stuff for it. I might as well just buy them at 20 because in a couple years it's going to be a $50 card. But for every Great Henge, there's going to be 10 cards where you bought them at $20, $10, and then they went to $5, they went to $3. I have a Mythic's black deck box over here. It's just a black deck box filled with Mythics that are all bulk Mythics under $5 from sets that date all the way back to like 2009. And there are tons of them. Each set, even the old sets, have a bunch of old bulk Mythics. So Mythic is just a way to enforce artificial scarcity. It doesn't really in a lot of ways dictate the power level of a card.
Fiery Temper is legal in Pioneer. It's got Madness. Maybe you
like this is fun. That's
Fiery Temper.
And I hope that people tinker with that because there's something there. You know, you could Thrilling Possibility in this deck. You could have Liliana in this deck. Clearly Liliana's good because you don't have to pay mana to use that ability. You're able to just use a Planeswalker ability. So maybe there's something there. I hope that people do play with this Madness ability.
I kind of want to throw together a Madness Pioneer deck that's going to be super terrible, but I'll get to run Bloodhall Priest finally This is a hell-bent 2 damage to any target when it ETBs or attacks. 3 mana 4/4. I've always loved this card. Seems like a really playable card. As you can see from the prices, 17 cents, 9 cents. Never really got there.
Yeah. I mean, and Liliana's really good because once you do get to the point where you're hellbent, then you're able to play around your own Liliana. I've seen a lot of modern games that would just devolve into like an unanswered Liliana and both players don't have cards.
Right.
And then it's just the Liliana every turn ticking up to make each player discard, and the player who controls the Liliana is just going to play anything that they get because you're just like, okay, you know, I'm going to force them to do a discard so they can't hold back any sort of reactive thing. So there's ways that you could play around your own Liliana. It's definitely a card that when it hits the battlefield, I am always like, shit, I have to fucking deal with that. So it has that feeling about it, and it's got a great cost at 3.
To put a button on the Liliana the Veil discussion, I will personally be trying to target a single copy in the 20s. I don't own a Liliana of the Veil, never played it, but I do want 1 copy in my collection, so I'll be targeting that base copy at around 20s just to have it and be. You have
opened one though. You should find it. I want to go find it. I want to find that clip. I have opened one before on the channel, but I have never owned one myself. So 20s, do y'all agree? Maybe let me know in the comments. I think high 20s.
Yeah.
Bro, this pack.
Oh,
here,
chat.
I think I found it.
Chat, will y'all do me a favor? We got a lot more to talk about tonight, and we're going to wrap up the night with some casual 2x2 draft. But if y'all would do me a favor and hit that like button, wake up the stream a little bit more. We've covered Liliana. We've covered Karn Living Legacy. We've covered Weatherlight Completed. I really want to talk about this new cycle of Tribal Lords we've seen so far, minus the black one. I really want to talk about Timeless Lotus and its applicability. I want to talk about Plaza of Heroes, and then we got some other topics, some like kind of fringy stories. WotC posted Jaya's death like it was an obituary in a real newspaper there in Washington, and has a cool website to go with it. Kind of interesting topic we might cover if we have a few minutes left. Jumpstart, I saw a post on the MTG Finance subreddit that Jumpstart sealed boxes seem underpriced right now. So Jake, I was going to get your take on that. Maybe if we cover that, maybe we can cover it next week, and whenever we get to stream next, I should say. Community, just so y'all know, I'm expecting my first child any freaking day now. So the due date is Friday. I think we won't let it go past by like next Friday, but there will be probably a 2 to 3 week span where I'm definitely not going to be live. But we've got a nice little backlog of content, so it'll still seem like I'm around. Just won't be on the streams there for a little while, most likely. Maybe
I sent you a link on Discord, Joel, if we want to share this with people.
Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely.
And then you go to 3,
but Jake will be around. Jake will be streaming
3:15 in that. It's kind of fun.
Speaking of Jake's streaming, Jake, you've got a here, I'm gonna turn up the volume on this and play it in a second. Jake, you've got a stream tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we are going to be streaming Japanese War of the Spark. There are 2 boxes available, chat, and then I think that series might go on hiatus for a little bit, and the reason is we're hitting a natural wall with it where we can get sealed cases of it, but we're having less interest in that series overall. We are going to get to episode 50, which is going to be really cool. I do know that people will probably want to sponsor more of the Spark boxes in the future, and I'm not saying that, you know, that series is going to end completely, but it is kind of like, you know, where the boxes started out at 113, now they're up to like 265. It's a high risk, high reward. Some people have gone home super happy. Some people will hit a bunch of duds and not hit any of the good planeswalkers.
Yep.
Full transparency. It's still a great time. It's still a hell of a stream. We have 1 more brand spanking new case. 3 of the boxes out of it have been purchased. I'm going to do one myself. And then we have 2 more people or 2 more spots that are open. And then that will probably be it for a mono Liliana, where we're going to be going after the Japanese War of the Spark alternate art planeswalkers. we've done over 50 episodes of that. By the time that we're done, we're going to be at like episode 53 or something. So it's something that will always be a possibility if ever anybody wants to order a box. But we are kind of hitting the natural, I don't know, kind of like wallet fatigue, but also, you know, product fatigue. And
yeah, we just got out of Double Masters. I will say that,
definitely
piggybacking on that, though, we are doing Foil Quest Dominaria United. We've got a full case of Dominaria United collector booster boxes that have been sponsored by patrons. And we will be doing probably a night or two, probably 2 nights, because these will be full collector boxes. They won't be 4-pack collector boxes like Double Masters was, but that Foil Quest will be happening. If you ever want to sponsor a box on Foil Quest, the Dominaria United one is probably closed at this point, but we will be doing it again for Brothers War when that set comes out, and probably even the unset that's coming out towards the end of the year. I think that there will be some interest in people picking up the collector's boxes of that. So if anybody wants to sponsor, absolutely, we will make that happen. All you got to do is be a patron at any level. The lowest level is $5. You get a signed card from us. There's a bunch of reward tiers up from there, but that lowest level gets you into our monthly give back. It makes you eligible for our Commander League, where you can play Commander over Spell Table, proxy friendly league for prizes in your pajama pants. That's a fun time, and it makes you eligible for Foil Quest. So go check out our Patreon if you want to get involved with that. Jake, I want to answer this comment before we go and look at the video you sent me. Mike Seif with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Mike. Says, what do you think of Defiler of Vigor getting play in mono green Devotion? I don't have a lot of experience with that format. I'm assuming you're talking about Pioneer, Modern, or both, I guess, at this point.
No, it would be Pioneer. I'm looking at the card right now. Let's see.
It's a good
mono
card.
Green Devotion.
I mean, I think you can see that the price right now being a $15 rare out of the gate reflects that people are hyped about it, but it is 5 mana. It's a trampling 6/6 though for 5 that reduces the spells after that and grows your entire line by a +1/+1 counter anytime you cast a green permanent, not just a green creature. So I think it's got a lot of potential, but we'll have to see how it shakes out. 5 mana seems like a lot.
It's pretty sweet.
It is.
Look
a sweet
at that.
card.
It's a Phyrexian worm. Look at the scale of it. It's just pulling something down. I mean, that's pretty cool. Looks sweet.
Yeah, Chase Stone killed it.
Art on it is great.
Sideshow on Acid with the $15 super chat for all your little babes, Joel. What? You were in for a whirlwind. Thank you very much, Sideshow. I appreciate it. And I saw everybody's love when I talked about our kid getting born. I really appreciate y'all.
Really, oh, that's sweet. Sideshow with the $15. That's awesome, man. We appreciate you so much. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about Foil Quest. I don't want people to think that like a mono quest is gonna go away forever.
It ain't leaving.
Jake, save me a spot for Japanese. Yeah, just get with me. Shoot me a message on Discord and we'll get you in there. All right. And yeah, we're gonna have 2 more boxes left to sponsor. So if you're sponsoring one, that leaves 1 more box. And then there will be episodes in the future. I'm just not going to keep product in my place like ready to go for this quest. It will be something where maybe we wait like a month, you know, take some time with some other products. We have a lot of people that are interested in doing Dominaria quests and stuff like that. Did we end up doing pre-orders of that, Joel?
Yeah, I already said that.
We did do Dominaria United.
Yeah. We've got a full case of Dominaria United collector boosters coming to you.
Yeah, so we're going to be opening a bunch of stuff that's going to need to go out, so we're going to take our time with it. But yeah, War of the Spark Japanese pre-variant era product. I say this all the time. It has beautiful cards in it that I believe are actually rare, that, you know, we live in this age of variants, constantly pumping out variants. Anybody who's watched an episode of Foil Quest, it is very rare when we find those beautiful alternate art foil planeswalkers. We find lots of alternate arts, and that's fun too. But yeah.
Aborizuki asks, what are your thoughts on that leaked 40k Swarm Lord? I was actually disappointed by that one. I thought the first one we saw was better. Brian, it is a boy. And being the Braves fan that I am, can you see my hats behind me right there?
Mike, if you want to get in on box breaks, you join at any level of the Patreon, and then you'll reach out to either Joel or myself. Let us know what you want to sponsor. We've had people order random boxes and send for stuff, but for a War of the Spark box, you'll just reach out to me and we'll set it up. Boxes all in are $265, and that includes priority shipping back to you in a small priority flat rate. The only cards you don't get are the commons. Most people don't want the commons, but you get all your tokens. Oh, and non-basic and basic lands. No basic lands, no commons, but you get all the notables back.
All right, so I want to show you this video that Jake pulled up for us. This
is an oldie but a goodie.
This was us opening the second box that we opened on the channel of Modern Masters 2017. At the time that we opened this, Liliana the Veil, I just looked it up on MTG stocks, was between $70 and $80. It hadn't yet had its first gigantic spike up into the over $100, like $115 range that it got in the first or second quarter of 2018. But this was us opening up Liliana on the channel. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, this is pretty fun. And we had just opened a cavern. And this was my box. But Joel and I are going back and forth. So this is Joel opening right now.
All right, I'm going to turn the volume up on this real quick.
Yeah, get it going.
There we go. Germination. Thornscape Battle Mage.
Come on, baby.
Guild Mage.
Make it good. Make it good. Oh!
Hey! Oh!
Absolutely
Oh!
crazy pack.
Oh! Yes, dude!
He goes, I don't even want to touch it.
Oh!
This box ended up being an absolute god box. We pulled Tarmogoyf when Tarmogoyf was like an $80 card.
Scalding
Liliana the Veil foil.
There ended up being like a Misty Rainforest in it. I think another fetch land. It had a Damnation, and that was back when Damnation was a big deal. But yeah, it was a super fun pack. What a god pack.
Let's listen to this laugh again. This is Jake's safest laugh. This is the excited. I think if you go back, you can find this laugh at other points in our history of like opening up crazy.
I don't know why, but I can't hear it.
Oh, it's because I'm sharing my screen to you and not just this single video.
Oh, that's
window.
fine. That's fine. I know what you're talking about.
It's your excited laugh. Your safe excited.
Yeah.
Oh! Oh!
What a pack, dude.
Oh! Yes, dude!
That laugh right there.
I
love
still
it.
have that card, dude. I still have that foil.
Oh!
It's sexy.
Yeah. And this is back 2017, so all of the sets that had come out since then. Tarmogoyf was a house because there was no fatal push. Liliana was 4 of and like Jund decks.
It is kind of a Seth Rogen laugh. That's funny.
Yeah. Old days, man. That was early days of the channel.
1,600 views total.
Yep. Early days.
Holy crap. That's all we have to say about Modern Masters box number 2.
How about when he opened the Ren and Dockside? That was fun.
Don't bring that, up.
Great time.
Don't bring that up.
And what's crazy is I got all bent out of shape, and then that box ended up being an absolute god box. It had a Cavern of Souls. It had a borderless foil Cavern of Souls. It had... Oh my god, what did that box have? I think I even wrote it in here. I'll just read it off really quick because you brought it up.
Yeah, I'm going to go take a quick bio while you do that. I still want to talk about Plaza of Heroes and Timeless Lotus.
Sounds good.
And that Jaya's death in the newspaper thing. I think it's pretty funny. BRB.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too. All right, so this was kind of crazy. So after that Ren and Dockside pack, which absolutely broke my brain and made me a cranky baby, I ended up opening that box over the next couple days. And these were the notables. Cavern of Souls foil borderless. Regular Cavern of Souls. Force of Negation borderless. Seasoned Pyromancer. Aether Vial borderless. Damnation. Green Sun Zenith. Kalia of the Vast. Oracle of Moldiah. Dragonlord Dramoka. Divine Visitation. Conqueror's Flail. Dragonlord Silumgar. Grand Arbiter. And then at that point, I mean, those are like $2 cards. But yeah, I mean, it was just crazy, dude. It was crazy. Wow, you guys were uploading in 2017. Yeah, and we were only doing, oh, Nickel, we were only doing a video a week, if that. If that. I literally sent that video to like 20 people. The views on that video must be top 5. Dude, I'm happy that video brought you a lot of joy. It was really fun to actually edit that into something digestible, because for me, I would watch it and be like, what the fuck? Worst reaction. I was so salty. Isaiah, I don't, because actually Sean, who was Sean was like, Sean sent a, I actually still need to do it, but Sean sent essentially a exorcism kit with like certain things. I want to make it into a video. It's all still together, but Sean sent me the deck and I was like, bro, this is too generous. He sent me the sealed deck that Dockside came in, which is something like, I'll never ever get rid of that Dockside now. It's just part of my hey Sean, waving at you as well. Yeah, it was just super sweet. And yeah, it's nice to know we're all human. Dude, I'm gonna be the first person to admit when you know, I've been a jerk and that kind of thing, and I am not perfect, man. I'm so far from it. And you know, I like to, you know, kind of keep a level head. And for me, that was an embarrassing moment, you know, looking back on that and just being so broke by that and like, oh my God. And that was a moment for that watcher to enjoy. I don't remember his name. James, if James still watches the channel or not, you know, I don't really care. James won the cards. Best
James got what they wanted out of this channel.
Yeah, James got what they wanted and needed out of this channel. And you know, there's probably an evil alternate universe, a version of me that kept those cards and was like, not you, not James. James who? But you know, best to pay it forward. And you know, when you do, the rest of the box ended up being really good, so it's best to just lean in, make a fun video out of it, and get over it. Tired and being kicked in the nuts is rough, especially live. That's right. MTG Gaming Bob says, Joel, did you receive the package I sent you guys?
I have not been to the PO box this week. I plan to go tomorrow to do one last check of it before I am out on paternity leave for a little while, so I will let you know.
Now I'm going to use the restroom, so give me just a moment.
Absolutely. I'll pull up our next topic while you're gone. Chat, we appreciate everybody hanging out tonight. If you have not yet, hitting that like button really helps us out. It wakes up the stream. 146. Come on, we can get to 169 likes for sure. For sure. Let's get to 169. Sushi Yum Yums with the $5 super chat. I haven't seen anyone mention Danitha plus Mantle of the Ancients. Is this a new thing? New Danitha. 5 mana 4/4 first strike Vigi lifelink. When it ETBs, you can put an aura or equipment card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield attached to Danitha. Mantle Ancients. Oh, yeah. This is an excellent card. Enters the battlefield, return any number. Yeah, that's great. That's great and all. I really love that. But you have to have a good other number of equipment and aura in the graveyard. Why don't we just get one that we have into the graveyard and then turn it into an Eldrazi? That way we only need one aura. It gets +10/+10 Trampler and Annihilator 2 on top of 4/4 First Strike, Vigilance, Lifelink, Trample, 14/14 Annihilator 2. That seems really good to me. And you just need the one card. Also a good one is what's the Felidar like enchantment? Yeah, Keith. We're not putting Darksteel Plate in the deck. Oh, I thought Jake heard me and was coming back to that. Yeah, I mean, Mantle of the Ancients is great, but this is the Yeah, it's fantastic synergy. I'm not saying it's a bad combo at all. You just got to get some other love in your graveyard for it to really hit. With Eldrazi Conscription, we just need the one. Yeah, Bob, I saw you mention Shieldred earlier. We kind of covered Shieldred already in the preview stream when we saw it the first time. And honestly, I didn't come prepped with notes for it yet. Normally for these, I have, good amount of notes for the stream itself. I don't have any notes on that card, so I haven't really analyzed it yet. That's why I've been dodging the question. There you go. You got it out of me. What's the name of that white 3 enchantment aura that like doubles your life total, I think is what it does? I can't remember what the name of that aura is, but I think of that one too when I think of Celestial Mantle. Yes! Yes, dude. This is back from when Jake and I restarted in college. Now that's pod racing right there. That's Steve Argyle art. Love it.
All right, chat. I'm gonna give you something from my collection here. I want to test this because tomorrow I'm going to be streaming and I want to make sure I have this. So type in #random giveaway and someone's going to win 2 cards off my desk here, whatever I can find.
Hit like when you type in #random giveaway. If
all
you
you
win
have
the
to do is be a
giveaway
subscriber
and you didn't like the video, you're a mean person and we don't like mean people. Press like to get us to 169. We're at 164 and type in #random giveaway. You have Nightbot open, Jake? Does it look like it's working?
Yep, it's working for me.
I love that shirt,
folks,
by the way.
this is good. Oh, thanks.
Does it say, what does it say at the bottom? I'm not a cat?
Oh, no, it says hold.
Oh, it just says hold. Got it.
It just says hold. All right, so how about...
Oh, we're at 180 now. We're flying. Now the game is to try and get to 269. Chat, if you're just joining us, we've got a couple more spoilers that I want to talk about from Dominaria United. Got a little interest piece, and then Jake and I have 2 more games to play with 2 more matches to play with our 2x2 deck that we drafted last stream.
Chat, there's not a lot of good stuff on my desk. I'm gonna have to look over here really quick. You got like 30 seconds.
How about some Dragon Shields?
We could do Dragon Shields. I was gonna do cards because I could just throw them in a plain white envelope.
Do it.
Just a sec. Oh, you know what? I actually got this earlier today, and this is a nice. Oh wait, no, that's not that good.
Cards in Dragon Shields. Here's a random card I have sitting on my desk. It's from Tempest. This is how much I love the aesthetic, y'all. The Phyrexian aesthetic, the like trash. The like trash sci-fi look. I just keep this card sitting on my desk for some reason. In a sleeve. Sushi Yum Yums, I'm actually going to pick up the new commander decks. I like them. I like them to like break down and put all the stuff in other decks. I'm never going to run them as like commander as the planeswalker. I mean, planeswalker as the commander most likely. But I really like legendary tribal, and there's a lot of really good legendary tribal cards in both of them. There's some 5-color in the 5-color commander planeswalker deck. There's going to be some 5-color cards in there that every 5-color deck is going to want forever. and so until they get reprinted, they're going to be valuable. I just really think that both of them, I think that they're both going to be good buy and holds and buy and breakdown.
What cards?
The 2 commander precons from this set, the legendary Matters Mardu and 5 colors. I just think that those 2 archetypes are not ones that are supported wildly all the time, and so whenever we get legendary Matters or whenever we get 5 color Matters cards specifically printed into like precons, not even a set that we can open a lot and drive the price down, I think that that's just a recipe for future random high cost cards. Big PP, how am I feeling about the Braves this year? Today we won and we scored 2 touchdowns, so I'm feeling pretty fucking good about the Braves this year.
Nice, dude. 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, we beat the Pirates 14-2 tonight. And look, the Pirates suck. This year's a terrible year for the Pirates. We're gonna go play the Cardinals this weekend and we'll see how it goes. But we're catching the Mets. We're working on catching the Mets.
Only more beautiful.
We were way further back, but we have caught up to the Mets. We are like 2.5 games back at this point, and we spent most of the season 5 to 10 back. So feeling
we
good.
got 10 seconds left to get in this giveaway. Then we're gonna run this.
You are super
and then we're gonna
welcome
talk about
to
a couple
cut
more
me
things
off when I'm talking about baseball on the MTG channel.
And then what we're gonna do after that is we're gonna talk about a couple more things. Then I think we should probably just finish up that league tonight. That way we don't miss out on the opportunity to get points.
We're going to. I think we got time.
Oh no, I was gonna say I know we were gonna play one, but I was gonna say it might be worth it to just finish up that league and make sure that we lock those points.
I'm staying up unless you got a heart out at any point. I'm super available for a little bit longer of a stream, so we can make sure that gets finished up. I think that we can get a good cut out of Timeless Lotus and a good cut out of Plaza of Heroes.
Gordon Stanley going home with something.
Congrats, Gordon.
Here we go. We rolled it. Do you want to know what you got now, or do you want me to just send it in the mail? All you have to do is reach out on Instagram or Twitter. Unless you are a patron, you can reach out on Discord as well. And then just let us know your name, what you won, and the address. But you know what? Actually, you don't know what you won. And it was just a couple things that were sitting around. You got a swamp, a Tempest Swamp.
Nice.
You got a foil Traveler's Amulet.
Playable. From
Double Masters 2022. It's not a bad foil. That's a fun little foil. And then the other thing is a Borderless Blood Artist, which is it's pretty sweet. It's a nice little card.
Nice.
Blood Artist used to be a big hit. This is only like $1 right now, but I really like some of these Borderless cards. I'm actually still picking up these Borderless cards because I think that right now you have a bunch of new products that are coming out, and this stuff is going to get soaked up over the next year or so. And I don't really need the money now, so I would rather soak it into singles that I think will kind of appreciate and be good trade fodder later on.
Gotta buy an Xbox.
Yeah, eventually, one of these days. Gordon Stanley says that's nice. Thanks, Jake. My pleasure. We will get that in the mail to you. Thank you for watching. I'm going to make a note about it right now.
All right, let's talk about Timeless Lotus, Jake. Before the sets come out, we always get a spoiler from Maro, from Mark Rosewater, of little teases of what's in the set. And
little teases.
Rosewater told us this time that we were getting a card with Lotus in the name. What we got was Timeless Lotus, a 5-mana legendary artifact. It enters the battlefield tapped, but it taps straight up for Wooburg. So Jake, before we compare it to some other cards that are legal, what are your first impressions of this mythic legendary artifact with Lotus in the title?
Well, it's narrow. It goes only into 5-color.
Must be a 5-color identity decks only. Versus
when we're talking about Commander.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
There are decks that could play this.
When you look at Gilded Lotus, which is a decent comp, 5 mana, it's got Lotus in the title. It'll
Yeah.
add 3 mana of any one color, but this can go in any deck because it doesn't have a single color pip on the card itself.
Every 5-color deck is going to want the Timeless Lotus because it's
Absolutely.
just perfect fixing. You know, if you draw your Enlightened Tutor, you can go tutor it up. It's just something that's 5 generic mana to play. I think that's a big plus, right? Because if it costs 1 of each color to play, it's pretty much like hard avoid. But the fact that you can pay 5 generic to get it online is pretty cool. I could actually see maybe some constructed deck wanting it, but it would be really dirtily, and it's very expensive, especially because it enters the battlefield tapped.
It sort of has a comparison to Prismatic Geoscope. Prismatic Geoscope is a 5 mana artifact, ETBs tapped, and it's got domain to tap and add X in any combo of colors where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. Great in 5 color, less great in any other, 4 color or less deck. But if you can get, 2 of the triomes on the battlefield, Prismatic Geoscope is tapping for Wooburg. Now, guarantee is way better than a maybe, in my opinion. So Timeless Lotus definitely kicks Prismatic Geoscope's ass. But when you're looking at it compared to like Gilded Lotus is going to have wider applicability for sure. Oh, Jake, I will say we talked about this card earlier in the stream, but this card and Amulet of Vigor really love each other because you're talking about it taps for 5, paying 5, it taps for 5. So the turn, if you play this on turn 5, you've doubled your mana production.
There is a deck called Niv to Light that is like a 5-color Niv Mizzet deck that plays like a toolbox of stuff.
Yeah.
I do think that there's potential if you do play it alongside an Amulet of Vigor. Being able to tap 5 and immediately do something with it clearly has some application and it makes it better.
Right.
It does kind of remind me of that domain card that we just looked at that was like less than $5.
Yeah,
I
Prismatic Geoscope.
Yeah. Sushi with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says, in honor of the 5-color deck and Timeless Lotus, could you all do a 5-color staples video, including monocolored cards like Path or Counterspell? Yeah, are you talking about kind of like an upgrades video or something like that?
Yeah, Sushi, we've actually talked about a couple ideas for videos like that.
Compared to Gigantha.
I think we'd sort of lean away from monocolor cards. If we were going to make a video about 5-color staples, we would focus on cards that a 5-color commander deck is always going to want. But we've definitely talked about that. That's on our list of ideas.
Unwinding Clock that's a good note for it. That's a good note.
I mean, yeah, combining this with Unwinding Clock, combining this with any of the shenanigans that untap things, you're going to have a hell of a mana rock on your hands. What is the name of the one that makes all of your colored mana? You can tap any color mana for any color, and it also taps for like 5 mana itself. That artifact is played. That one's played a lot, as far as I know. If you want a giant mana rock that costs a lot of mana, but yeah, Chromatic Orrery. Thank you, Buzz.
Oh, Sushi. Yeah, 5 isn't super easy to build, so just a nice, helpful cards 5-color decks would want is exactly what I mean. Cards for 5-color decks. Sure, we could do something like that because then you're gonna get better. In a lot of instances, cards with more versatility, and yeah, that's definitely something we could look at. That's a good idea.
Make
a note about that.
Looking at comparisons, Chromatic Orrery comes to mind. 7 mana, doesn't come into play tapped. You can spend mana as though it were mana of any color, and you tap to add colorless, which is basically Wooburg.
Yeah.
Or it can be 5 red. It can be whatever you want. And look at the price on this one.
Yeah, let's look at Gigantha. I'm seeing chat say a lot of Gigantha, so let's take a gander over there really quick.
100%. Chromatic Orrery is a mythic from a standard set that to this day hasn't been reprinted, so that's a reason for its price. But you've got
really good static ability.
$20 for this, plus a draw card tacked onto it versus Timeless, which
Yeah,
is
that
just going to
card's
tap
like-
for 5.
Yeah, that card's like a trading post of stuff. This Timeless loaded, I don't know.
Gigantha is going to tap for Wooburg. Only costs 5 for of anything in either a red or a green. And then no card. A lot of people, some people play it as companion, some don't. Some play it as commander, just a mana rock out of the command zone. 5-color mana rock out of the command zone. Not the worst idea in the world.
Not bad.
Can't be spent to pay generic mana costs. So the Wooburg that Gigantha supplies can only, for instance, pay for this pip of Gigantha. It can't pay for the 4.
Yeah. So it's definitely more narrow.
Right. So I look at Timeless Lotus, I see $28 on the preview price, and I think it's a little overhyped. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's a little bit overhyped, and I think, I saw MTG Gaming Bob say that it should have cost 3. I tend to agree, but I think if it costs 4, that would be just like right on the money, because especially if it's a Lotus, like let's think about Jeweled Lotus, for example. It's a card that costs 0, and it gives us 3 mana for our commander specifically, which is pretty narrow. But everybody who plays commander pretty much wants to at least cast their commander, right? Most people want to cast it at some point. So yeah, there should have been, especially when you're calling something a Lotus, there should have been some sort of significant, in my opinion, cost reduction for it.
Yeah, I have to agree. Cards that go really well with it, I will say, and this is like not a new thing for rocks that add 5 mana, but Filigree Sages plus Timeless Lotus is infinite non-blue mana. Infinite mana of the other 4 colors, because you tap Timeless Lotus for Wooburg, you use a blue and 2 other to untap target artifact, and then you do that infinite times. That's the loop, and you do that infinite times.
You're going to town here.
Right.
100%. Yeah, there's definitely people that are going to figure out ways to break the card, or as far as go infinite with it.
For
it's
sure.
just a matter of it costing 5 and coming into play tapped. That's it. Otherwise, that I like mana rocks.
Oh, 100%.
This is great.
I will say,
yeah, I mean, 5-color, you can do anything you want in 5-color. Any combo you want.
In standard right now, we will have Teferi, who slows the sunset, and Teferi's +1 is choose up to 1 target artifact, up to 1 target creature, and up to 1 target land. Untap the chosen permanents you control. Tap the chosen permanents you don't control. So if you can get Teferi down on turn 4, play Lotus on turn 5, use Teferi's ability to +1, untap it. Now you have 5. Now you have Wooburg available, and you gained 2 life from all of this. So in standard, is that a thing? That seems like a pretty nice little wombo there. Not gonna lie. That's not really a commander thing, but
if you build it into, I mean, you just have to think, okay, say you're building that into some sort of control type build with that type of Teferi. What exactly do you want to do at that point in the game with that chunk of mana?
I don't know.
That's kind of what I would think is like, okay, I've got to this big mana.
And I just wanted to mention it because I don't know standard. I don't play standard at all.
This wasn't on my radar at all. I wasn't even thinking about this Teferi. So at least thinking about it from that perspective is like, okay, we could play this Teferi for 4. If it survives the next turn, we could play this for 5. It comes in tapped, but now we get around the tapped ability because of the Teferi. We gain 2 life. But then the question becomes, what do we do with that mana at that point to really do something big? Legendary, tribal, and standard. Lance can't tell us sarcastic.
I saw the new Joda earlier today. Let's pull that one over real fast.
Cryptic Commander, what's up? Thanks for popping in.
This is going to be a little hard to see because it's in... There we go. We can blow it up that way. So this is a new Mythic from Dominaria. Wooburg for Joda. Legendary creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control. So side note, Joda is a 6/6 out of the gate. And then whenever you cast a legendary spell from your hand, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a legendary non-land card with lesser mana value. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. So honestly, Jake, in standard...
Cascade for legendaries?
Dude,
this is cool.
Turn 4, Teferi. Turn 5, Timeless Lotus.
Yeah.
Untap it. Cast Joda. Any legendary spell you cast from that point on has Cascade for legendary. Yeah, I mean, that seems, plus it's like plus Xing anytime a legendary creature's coming out on the battlefield, it's adding to that.
It is dirtily and you have to get there, but it's kind of, I mean, it's kind of cool, but everything needs to be legendary in order for this to be relevant. And what exactly, remind me of the parameters of, did legendary get anything outside of what is normally legendary? Does it have anything else on the list, whereas like with historic and stuff? No.
Gotta just have legendary in the, it's a type.
Yeah, that makes it too narrow for me, in my opinion. But I think it could be really fun as a commander. I think it could be fun as a commander. I just don't know about its application.
So I'm looking at the non-Dominaria United cards that are legendary that are in standard currently. We are going to have a bit of a rotation on some of these, but I mean, you got some pretty powerful ones. Is Adventure in the Forgotten Realms still going to be in standard, or is that the last set that gets cut? I'm pretty sure that's the last set that gets cut, right? That's gonna for new standard when rotation happens. Yeah, that's going to be out. So we're going to have Midnight Hunt. I'm pretty sure is going to be the very first one. Yeah, MID. There you go. So Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow is where standard is going to go back to after rotation when Dominaria United comes out. But you're looking at, let's see, what do we got?
I would play Timeless and 5-color shrines. Yeah, 5-color shrines sounds good because most of the shrines are only 1 pip of a given color, right? Pretty sure.
All right. I mean, all of the dragons from Neon Dynasty are legendary.
Yeah, maybe there's something there.
Maybe. But overall, I think that Timeless Lotus is very interesting. I do think that there's some, funky stuff we could do with it for Commander, but it's got to be in 5-color decks. But 5-color decks are absolutely going to want this card for Commander. So $28 pre-order price. Personally, I think that's a little high. But
I mean, after it untaps, it's amazing. It's just
absolutely,
yeah.
This looks like to me really one of the ones that we're going to be covering on Overhyped Mythics 6 months from now.
Yeah. I mean, when I'm looking at 28, it's a mana rock that costs 5, man.
Right.
It's a mana rock that costs 5, and it's only in one specific archetype, and it's multicolored. It's so narrow. It's a mana rock that costs 5.
I want to look at type artifacts with CMC 5 or greater, sorted by price. So some obviously are popping up that aren't that, but Great Henge,
exactly, food time.
It's nowhere near the power level of Great Henge. It's not, I mean, Chromatic Orrery is definitely better. Gilded Lotus has been printed 1, 2, 3 times plus a secret layer.
It's 5 for 3, but it goes in a bunch more decks. That's the thing about it, is like,
looking at it as a comp, it's like a $5 card though. So that probably means that Timeless Lotus is going to be more than $5, but like you said, it's so narrow to just $5, 5-color decks. That's it. It's the only place it can pop up in Commander, and card prices are driven by Commander and somewhat by playability in constructed formats, older constructed formats, Modern Pioneer.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have Commander on it, so that's cool. Maybe it finds something in a constructed format outside of Commander, where like Jeweled Lotus, you have to play it in a Commander deck. Maybe this has life outside of Commander. But even then, it's pretty expensive to get online. Cost 5, comes into play tapped. Exactly. That's kind of how I feel about it. I think it could show up on an Overhyped Mythics list.
Yeah, for sure. Chat, I just dropped our Discord link. If you're not in our Discord, you definitely should be. Come hang out. Click that link. That's your special invite for just tonight. That's about all the thoughts I have about Timeless Lotus. Let me see if I had any other notes on it. Teferi, Doubles your mana, 5 color identity. Yeah, the last note I had is it's still a mythic with the word Lotus in it, but we didn't even get variants of it, so we don't have like a cool collector's showcase borderless.
Well, type in Lotus.
Get it and frame it.
Did you already do Lotus? Yeah, Lotus Bloom. Lotus Bloom, for example.
$1.
Yeah.
$3.
It's a Lotus. That's a Lotus.
It's a rare though.
Yeah.
Last mythic Lotus we had was jeweled, but that's not a good comp just because it's way more
Nyx
versatile.
Lotus. Click on that one.
4 mana. It's only
Poopy.
devotion though. $3.
It's
yeah.
not. Actually, it's not terrible. It's not terrible.
In a mono color.
Yeah. It's a playable card. It's not great.
That's
but
our thoughts
it's
on
not terrible.
That's our thoughts on Timeless Lotus. Let us know in the comments what you think.
Let us know what you think. Put it into the comments.
All right, one more card I want to talk about, and then we can do whatever y'all want to do.
We got to finish that draft. We have a good deck there waiting in the wings.
100%. Jake, a lot of people have been talking about Plaza of Heroes. Oh my God, it's a staple commander land. You gotta get it for every single commander deck you're playing. I'm gonna buy 30 of them. Pre-ordering right now for $13. Let's go over it. Taps to add a colorless, so it can tap for mana.
Great.
You can tap to add 1 mana of any color and spend it only to cast a legendary. So it definitely...
That's really good.
It helps you cast your commander. You tap it to add 1 mana of any color among legendary permanents you control. So once your commander's out, it taps for all of your commander's colors. And then the last ability is pay 3, tap it, exile it. Target legendary creature gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. It's just like, you are really not getting rid of me. First impressions.
I mean, having something that you can get back with a Crucible of Worlds, a Sun Titan, that has essentially an oh shit button built into it. Like all the other stuff is whatever, dude. Like the tap to add generic mana, great.
Fine.
Tap to add 1 mana of any color. Spend it only on a legendary spell, sure, great. There's tons of lands out there that tap for any color. The thing that I care about on this land is that final clause that says exile Plaza of Heroes, target legendary creature gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. That is an oh shit button. That is just specifically save that for the most important thing on the battlefield. You have a freaking heroic intervention built into a land for 3 mana tap. I mean, I think it's good.
So I want to make a note about this. I did see a bunch of people talking about this on Twitter and on Reddit. This one has caused a lot of waves.
Oh, you
Everybody's
exile it. Fuck, I'm stupid. You can't get it back.
Yeah, you do not sack it.
Oh, never mind. I'm dumb. I need to read. God, everybody in chat's got to be like, Jake can't even read anything.
So with Plaza of Heroes, this second ability, no, this third ability, you got to note, add 1 mana of any color among legendary permanents you control. So if you're playing a 5-color deck that is Kenrith the Returned King,
I was wrong.
What color, Jake? Here's a test. Plaza of Heroes says tap to add 1 mana of any color among legendary permanents you control. If you only have Kenrith on the battlefield, what color mana can that thing tap for?
White.
Only white, chat.
Yeah.
Only white. Same thing if you've got Najila. It only taps for red.
Yeah. Because it's in its color identity in the top right.
Exactly.
So yeah, that makes sense.
The color of the permanent, not the color identity of it. And so people are going to misuse this
so much worse.
People are going to absolutely misuse this third ability, especially in 5-color decks like Kenrith. Now look, in a multicolor deck, at the very base, let's talk about the floor of this card. This is a card that it's a command tower for just your commander. And it's an oh shit button 1 time, like Jake just found out. It's a one-time oh shit button to save your commander. I
Or
think that
something.
this will get
Something.
a legendary creature, right?
A legendary creature.
Yeah. It can save
And,
more
you
than
know,
just
you
that.
can have- There are legendary sorceries that came out of Dominaria last time and that kind of stuff that you can use for the second ability. But yeah, I mean, it is a one-time oh shit button for your commander. That's essentially
But it's
how
a hell of an oh shit button. Hexproof and indestructible.
it's heroic intervention on a land once. That's what it is.
So I gotta say, this card to me looks like, I mean, obviously it goes in any legendary matters. Legendary tribal, this is definitely in there. Because that second ability is going to get to cast way more than just your commander, and the third ability is going to be way more relevant. But at $13, I think that this card will be ubiquitous enough that in a year, it's more than $13. Pre-ordering at 13 right now. I think, however, that this is a huge candidate to be pushed into precons, in which case that will bring the price down. But I do think that this card is going to be ubiquitous enough. I mean, it looks like it was specifically designed for Commander. It's for Commander, just short of having the word Commander on it.
Yeah. It is, in my opinion, really good. Someone said, so you're just going to leave 3 mana up. I think it was John Reed. Yeah, no,
Yes.
I definitely not. I think it would be well placed in a reactive deck. A deck with counter spells, that kind of stuff would make sense, because then someone does go to remove it. If you're not countering it, then yeah, you can use it. There are going to be times where you have to tap it for mana and you don't get to use it, but once you get to that stage of the game where you know you have a bunch of mana on the battlefield, then yeah,
that's what I'm
have
saying.
a card that's
You're not leaving this
versatile
up from the moment you play it. You know, no, you're not leaving 4 mana, the 3 to play it and the tap of this card itself. But at the time that you would want an effect like this, hell yeah, you're going to have 4 mana, including Plaza of Heroes, 3 mana with Plaza Heroes also. However you want to look at it. Yeah, hell yeah, you're going to have that up.
I mean, and it's also the kind of card that you can bluff with too.
Sure.
Like that's the kind of thing where once you have it on the battlefield, you can kind of play with your commander loose. You know, you can kind of like, or whatever legendary creature you're protecting with it, you can play loose with it because you're like, oh, I don't know, am I going to use it? And then people start looking at, oh, do I do a board wipe? You know, it's one of those cards that you have to like play around. You know, if there's a board wipe and you're going to be coming up soon, use it on your commander, make your commander indestructible, and now all of a sudden you already have board position after a wipe. So I definitely think there's something here. I don't know how expensive it ends up. I feel like it might already be appropriately priced.
I think, yes, I like the price of this for what it does.
Yeah, Blood Moon shuts it down like every non-basic land.
You've got bigger problems if Blood Moon is shutting this down in the deck 100%. That wants this card. 10 to $15 seems reasonable for this card, especially if it's staple-ish, especially if it proves to be as strong as it looks, even though I think it's a little less strong than people are identifying it as right out of the gate. But I do think that it is very strong. I do think that it's got the potential to be in a lot of different commander decks, not just legendary tribal. Voltron.
Oh yeah, it has commander application, and it also has legendary creature matters decks application. I completely agree there too. Yeah. Heroic Intervention is a good card. It's been trending upward. If you look at Heroic Intervention's chart, the chart is on the rise. I want to say this really quick. We missed this super chat. It came from Sushi Yum Yums. Thank you again, Sushi, for the $2 super chat. Number 1 most proxied card in EDH if it sticks at 13. Yeah, maybe so. But I just, for me, I think it's definitely worth having. I don't think every deck wants it.
I would put this. So the last commander deck I built was Raphael, Devil, Demon, Tribal. And a lot of my synergy was built around having Raphael on the battlefield because I had 2 ways that I used this commander. I could use it as I've got 3 or 4 devils, 3 or 4 demons that are all 5/5 flying tramplers, on the battlefield already. I'm going to play Raphael as an enchantment for 5 mana, give them all +1/+1, and most relevantly, lifelink. So that was one way that I would play Raphael, depending on what I drew and how the game was going. The other way is to get Raphael out there as quickly as possible and use that second ability at the beginning of each end step. If a creature card was put into your graveyard from anywhere, create a 1/1 devil creature token that when it dies, you can deal a damage to any target. By the way, it also is a 2/2 and has lifelink because of Raphael's ability. So when I use this commander, and there's a lot of commanders like this that have one thing they do or some sort of passive enchantment like ability that you can build around as well. When I use it for that passive enchantment like ability, I want a card like Plaza of Heroes to protect it, period.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a 2-color commander, so
it's just redundancy, right? Because there's other ways to protect your commander, but having it tacked onto a land because now you're taking up less slots. And in Raphael, it makes sense because it's only a 2-color deck. See, the decks that aren't going to want this as much are the decks that are spread across multiple colors, because your land base becomes in a budget sense, shock lands and fetch lands, and all of making sure that your land base is good. And then maybe you get to run a wasteland, maybe you get to run a strip mine, maybe you get to run an Urborg and a couple extra things depending on the build. But the more you go into like these specialty lands,
like
the less consistent your mana base becomes.
I've seen
like Ghost Quarter, War Room, Rogue's Passage, all of these
Homeward
different
Path.
things.
Yeah, so I compare it a lot to War Room. Like recently with War Room, I've been just slotting this into all of my monocolor and 2-color decks, because a lot of times single color, 2-color, you can get your mana pretty taken care of on your first like 25 to 35 or 25 to 30 lands. And then you've got like, 1 to 7 lands to play with, like Jake's talking about, where you can pull in the utility effects, tacking on stuff like Homeward Path, tacking on stuff like Rogue's Passage, War Room. Yeah. And so
like the first stuff that I add are like wastelands and stuff like that, where I'm like, I know that, I'm building this kind of deck. I know I need.
You love Wasteland.
But I'm not playing it alongside a Crucible of Worlds. If I was, then that would be nice and super degenerate. But if somebody does have a Cabal Coffers and I'm sitting there going, all right, thank God I have this way to deal with that,
Yeah.
But you don't have a lot of those slots the more colors you go up. That's the big thing to keep in mind. It's like
absolutely. But if you think, if it's so contingent on your commander, like I know that exile word on there, we cry in Muldrotha about it, but a deck like Muldrotha that is late game so dependent on that commander staying on the battlefield. Not only does Plaza of Heroes tap for 3 mana, any of the 3 colors of mana to cast Muldrotha, but once Muldrotha's on battlefield, it also taps for blue or green or black. And if you do want to leave Plaza of Heroes and 3 mana open, which again to me doesn't seem like that big of a concern, Muldrotha's going to get hexproof and indestructible.
And say you're staying up anyway for like a removal spell or a counter spell or something like that.
For sure.
And then there's something that, all of a sudden a board wipe. Okay, well that's advantageous because now they're taking care of this opponent's this and this opponent's this. Might as well use my land here. We'll save the counter spell. We'll save this and we'll make my dude indestructible. It's just versatility. It's just more options.
When in the
it's a very strong effect on a land.
With just the example of Muldrotha, which I'm using that as an example because this would be sort of a subpar pick in that deck because it says exile, period. Even though it's going to tap for all the colors to cast Muldrotha, even though it's going to protect Muldrotha one time late game. Think about Muldrotha. You're playing a lot of cards like this that are low cost permanents that do a thing on a death trigger, so that you can, or an ETB trigger that can be sacrificed so you can get it back. So in Muldrotha, you're playing 1 permanent, 2 mana. You're going to have the 3 mana open to be able to exile this and target legendary creature gains hexproof and indestructible. I'm just using some examples. I feel like I'm kind of arguing both points here, that it is strong, but it is not as strong as people are thinking it is. I just think that this one is one of the most interesting cards that we've seen so far out of Dominaria United, with the potential highest ceiling, but also the potential greatest fall price wise.
Yeah, like in a lot of situations in certain decks
Voltron, yes.
that don't build around legendary synergy, it's just a land that taps for generic mana and then has an ability that says 3 and tap, exile it, and give target creature a heroic intervention until end of turn. That's pretty much it.
Thank God
The
it
other
taps
two
for colorless,
abilities
by the
don't
way.
really do right. If it didn't,
Woo.
it becomes
Lower.
like pretty much unplayable. Like it's not. It has to have that. You would have to build it into legendary matters only. Like you would have to depend on your commander being out there, or else
Voltron
it wouldn't do
100%
anything.
wants this. Voltron, at the least, if it didn't have the colorless, at the least, Voltron, it's going to cast your commander. Once your commander's on the battlefield, you're doing everything you can to protect it because that's your strategy. So it's going to then add a mana of any colors of your Voltron commander. And then it protects your Voltron commander one time. Which a lot of times with a Voltron deck, and I know that's an archetype that's lost a lot of juice. But a lot of times with a Voltron deck, all you need to do is that one critical protection of it, and you're going to win the game.
Yeah, and this was the point, is without that top ability, then not even Voltron would want it, because if your commander were removed enough,
Right.
then you wouldn't even be able to tap it for anything to do something else out of your hand, you know? So thank God it has the colorless ability in it. But yeah, that last bottom ability is why the card is good. This card was a card that everybody slept on. It's so crazy that you would have been able to buy these sub 10 at one point.
Mox
This card got as
Amber,
low as like $6.
BuzzFuzz brought
Crazy.
this up. This is the kind of, this seems narrow. Add a mana of any color among legendary creatures and planeswalkers you control. Seems narrow, but this is a really expensive card. And now look, before you yell at me in the comments, Mox Amber is good because it's 0. It doesn't care about your restrictions on your tappings of your manas. Mox Amber is good because it's 0. Plaza of Heroes.
This card is just, yeah, Mox Amber's great.
I think that it is worth a lot of the hype that it's getting, but I think that people are going to find it doesn't go in every single commander deck you build.
I think it tops out at 3 color. I think that's like 3 color, 2 color, monocolor commander wants it.
I think
I
less
think it has a
about
slot in those.
the color identity. I think it's more about what you're trying to do with your commander.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. I'm just talking about players that are picking it up because it has a generically powerful ability, like, and just slamming it into any deck. That's kind of where I'm coming from. Is like, I think that it loses a slot once you get to 4 and 5 color decks.
Just simply
Maybe-
based on the fact that you need that identity for all the other spells in the deck. Yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah, you just need to be able to reliably get your 5 colors, especially. It just becomes less desirable then.
Yeah.
But what makes sense about that is now you're in 5 colors, so you should be playing more powerful spells because you have access to every color in MTG, you know?
Is Plaza of Heroes a new commander staple? Let us know down in the comments.
Let us know down in the comments. Before we miss this, I want to say this. Joint exploration. Somebody said this, I think the Vilch, and I made a note about it. Said, do you think joint exploration is a good spec? 1 blue, 1 other, and it's an instant, and it has kicker for green. Scry 2, then draw a card. If this spell was kicked, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield.
This card's good as
So
shit.
talking about a uncommon here
Yeah. It's
called
an uncommon.
joint exploration. Yeah. I don't know if it's a spec. It's an uncommon, so it's tough to say. I would say maybe foils.
The card is good as shit. Let's be honest. It's a dope
Yeah,
uncommon.
it's really good.
I mean,
It's really
I think a lot about Growth Spiral. 2 mana instant speed, draw a card, put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. Strictly better, in my opinion, is Growth Spiral. You do get to scry 2 for the extra mana that you're spending on joint exploration. But Growth Spiral, cheap card. It's going to be reprinted. I mean,
Put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. I mean, it's very strong. It's very good.
yeah, it's a strong uncommon. I wouldn't spec on uncommons though, especially in a standard set, pal. Wouldn't do that.
Thoughts on Protect the Negotiators. $2 super chat from Linky609. Protect the Negotiators.
3 mana total. It's 1 blue, 1 other for an instant with kicker of 1 white. If it was kicked, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1 for each creature you control. It's going to be very good in the right decks. This reminds me a lot of decks that want to run like Chart the Course will want to run a copy or two of Protect the Negotiators, maybe main deck, maybe sideboard.
Yeah, I mean, this is fun. This is good.
It's, you know, a lot of like, what's the one for flying? The counter spell that there's a counter spell that is reduced in cost if you control a creature with flying.
This is cool. It's
Lofty
counter
Denial,
target
thank
spell at 2.
This
I
kind
don't
of
hate
card,
that.
this kind of card reminds me of cards like this that scale into better cards if it's a counter spell that's played in an aggressive deck. But
I definitely agree. It's part of that kind of cycle.
yeah, exactly. But Lofty Denial gets played. Lofty Denial is good in like Pioneer Spirits, I'm pretty sure runs this card. I've definitely played this card. I love that like blue aggro flying shit that's got some tricks.
Sushi Yum Yum says, say pick up a copy of
Yeah.
Plaza of Heroes, not financial advice, so we can add it to the spreadsheet. Sushi, why don't you put it on your Phantom spreadsheet and we won't tell people to go buy it at $13?
Yeah,
I
see,
think
look,
it could be a $5 card.
Pioneer Mono Blue Spirits. This card,
yeah.
This deck just recently placed in SCG Baltimore 3rd place. Runs 4
2
copies
cost
of Lofty
counterspell.
Denial. Right. And
Yeah.
not only 2 costs, but 1 color pip and 1 generic. I know that this is a mono blue deck, but I'm talking about with your Protect the Negotiators. If you've got a deck that's running blue and white, you're also getting a 1/1. You know, if you have no board, this card sucks. At least Lofty Denial will counter it if they're tapped out, period. It scales into better if you've got a flying creature.
Yeah.
And so Protect the Negotiators has a worse floor. I'll say that.
Definitely.
I'd hate to top
The
deck
4,
this when I'm trying to
the 4
rebuild my
on
board.
Lofty is so strong. If you're building a Flyers deck, Lofty Denial is just like,
Oh, it basically says counter it.
yeah, it just says counter
Who leaves
target
4
spell.
open in Pioneer?
Oh yeah, you can't. In competitive formats, you really just can't leave 4 open unless you are a control deck.
Right, you're in top deck mode or you're a control deck that always has mana open.
Right.
But it's a good card. A counter spell that scales in an aggressive deck. And I always
Good
love when
card.
mono blue can have a creature-based strategy. Because I like
Very
to turn
attractive.
things sideways.
That's right.
All right, that is all that I wanted to cover tonight, Jacob.
Lots of stuff that we covered tonight. I'm gonna step away. I need to make a note really quick, and then why don't we fire up this draft and see how much time we have left before that ends? We got to be getting close.
Oh, we'll finish it up tonight. Yeah, for sure. We're about to finish it up. Chat, thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. If you do want to support our efforts to make this our full-time job, joining the channel next to the subscribe button down below the video or joining our Patreon at any level is that is the best ways to do it, for real. Dropping a little link to the Patreon there in chat. If you want to check it out, click on it. Go over there, see what you think. We think it's a pretty sweet Patreon. Got some good rewards over there. Signed card from us. The lowest level gets you a signed card from us. VIP Discord access. We've got some special rooms like a buy-sell trade and MTG Finance VIP for us to talk about cards I'm going to cover that are low in price. There have been a few times when I've covered some sleeper cards and they've shot the hell up in price. You know, the lowest tier also gets you access to our Commander League, where you can play in a proxy friendly league for prizes. We've got an end of year tournament. You can earn points towards that, earn prizes month over month. We start at a low budget and you work up, adding budget every single month in that. So the lowest tier also gets you access to that Commander League, also gains you access to Foil Quest. If you ever want to sponsor a box on the channel, be it a Mono Liliana for a Mono Liliana foil quest via Jake, or any of the other individual foil quests that we do. Whenever a set comes out, we normally open up a small run of sponsorships for boxes like Dominaria United Collector Booster case that we have coming. You're also eligible for that at the lowest level. So we've tried to pack some good value in there. Go check it out with that link that I dropped in the chat and see if you are a good fit to sort of plug into our community in a deeper way. But we love our members here on the YouTube. We love people that just hit subscribe and watch the videos. Sharing them with a friend. I've recently heard that YouTube really likes when people share. So with all of our videos, yeah, if all of y'all could start watching it and then click share and copy the link, you don't even have to send it to anybody. Just click share and click copy the link so that YouTube thinks that thinks that people really like our shit. That'd be awesome.
That's great. Maybe share it to somebody who's already watched it.
Yeah, do that. Just send it to your grandma so you can really confuse the hell out of her.
No, right now the algorithm is going, I think they are trying to figure out how to beat me and we need to flag them.
Obi Cortez with the $5 super chat says, what do you guys think of Ivy, Gleeful Spell Thief? Ivy,
I guess we could take a gander. We could take a gander.
Ivy has had a lot of coverage recently. It's a 2-mana commander.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
Oh, I love cheap.
2-mana, 2/1 flyer. Whenever a player, any player, casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy, Gleeful Spell Thief, you may copy that spell and the copy targets are Ivy.
Hot damn. This is good.
Any auras that your opponents play on theirs that they think are beneficial, you also get. Any auras that you cast that target your other creatures, Ivy also gets. I will also say morph, right? Wouldn't morph? Is morph casting a spell? Is that what it's called? No, not morph. What's the Ikoria mechanic called that's so confusing? Mutate. Thank you. If you cast this, oh yeah, it's a cast. If you cast this spell for its mutate cost, put it over or under target non-human. Is this a non-human? It's a fairy rogue.
I just like
copy mutate. Weird.
Path to exile on your commander, and Ivy just being like, I'll take a path. We'll path that.
No, the copy targets Ivy. That would be horrible.
It targets Ivy?
I thought you were memeing.
Oh my god. God, I didn't see the text. Oh my god. I read all of it except for the part that says the copy targets Ivy.
I
thought it was just going to allow you to copy stuff all the time.
I thought you were like, opponent casts a path.
Ivy
goes, I want a path.
Seriously? Oh my god. I'm seriously the worst.
I need a basic land. Please remove my commander too.
No, it's interesting. It sucks now. Every time I read it all the way to the end, it sucks. Mr. Buzzfuzz says Jake never reading. I know.
I don't think
there are words. The Cryptic Commander goes, there are words. There's going to be people that are like, why does this fucking channel have 40,000 subscribers? Jake can't even read the fucking cards.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I'm not even showing off the card right now. I swapped
I'm just
over.
Stupid. I don't know what the hell happened. It's awful. It's so narrow.
Matthew, thank you for hanging out.
No one ever plays
that,
anything on their own creatures ever. It's a sideboard card. It's so medium.
I think that this has potential as a commander for sort of a
content creator read a card.
So like blue green auras. I think that's fairly relevant. Let's look at commander blue green.
I don't think it's good in as a commander. No. I think it's barely ever going to do anything.
So all of those are terrible. Copy Rancor, copy Aqueous Form, copy Bear Umbra, copy curiosity, copy free from the real.
Sometimes it will do stuff.
Well, I mean, we're 8 cards deep now. How many cards do you need to make it an aura deck? Maybe 20 auras in your deck. So you got...
Oh no, you mean making it an aura deck for it. I thought you were talking about cards that we can reliably be copying from our opponents.
No, it says player. Whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than
I should
Ivy.
read the top of the card too.
Yeah, you need to start with the top and go down to the end of the card.
Fuck.
And then by the end of the card, you have a pretty full
I thought it was a player other than you. I'm just
Jesus
look.
Christ.
After we get past this card, I'll join the conversation again. I'm just gonna move this out of the way and listen and watch.
Mercy. So looking at decent auras to run in a deck that you would actually be copying your own auras, because you would cast Ancestral Mask. It says enchanted creature gets +2/+2 for each other enchantment on the battlefield. You cast Ancestral Mask on your one creature, and then it gets copied to go onto your 2 mana creature that is a commander, so you get a copy of Ancestral Mask. That seems really freaking good to me. Also, Aqueous Form. Enchanted creature can't be blocked, and whenever it attacks, scry 1. Now you've got 2 creatures that can't be blocked. Have we explained it fully enough for Jake to understand the card yet? I don't think so, but we're working on it. A flying 2/1 for 2. I love how early this comes down. I love that at this point, you've got, let's look at Umbra. Don't you have 3 at this point? Holy shit.
Oh my God, I'm dying over John's comment. Says Jake needs Duolingo, but for English.
Sassy, good to see you. Yeah, Jake needs English Duolingo. Jake, look at this. There are 9 Umbras in blue and green at this point. I think if you had asked me this question as a trivia question, somebody said how many blue or green commander color
12.
identities. Yeah, Jake needs math, Duolingo for English math as well.
I see 12.
English math. What is that?
Okay. All right, I take it back, because you could build the commander with this, pro tip. I would always be sacrificing the copy of the totem. Clearly, I'm going to keep the original.
Well, they go on 2 different creatures, so you wouldn't have 2 of them on the same creature, because this one, whenever a player casts a spell that, we're going to look at the middle of the card now, targets only a single creature other than Ivy, Gleeful Spell Thief, you may copy that spell, and the copy targets Ivy. So you wouldn't have to sacrifice, you would just sacrifice whichever totem armor you wanted to the time of destruction.
You know what? It's okay. It's okay.
It's one of these commanders that is really good for the deck building line that it encourages, but past that, it doesn't really offer a lot of like, it's not a card that offers a lot of improvisational builds. I'll say that. You want cards, you need a specific type of card to be at least represented by probably 20 to 30 cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does come with flying. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. I did see it comes with flying.
It's also a fairy and a rogue, so you could maybe get a little tribal business going on, because those are both really strong tribes in Commander. But yeah, I think that it is pretty cool. It's just like it's sort of it builds itself Commander, right? And that's not a bad thing. If it entices you, you've now got a Commander that you want to play.
It's a very low mana value commander that is going to get the most out of blue-green auras. I do think that spells like any sort of pump spell in commander loses some potency, but there's something here. There might be something.
We got there, chat. We've arrived at an opinion on Ivy, Gleeful Spell Thief, formed by full knowledge of everything that it does.
What do you think of it, Joel? Do you like it?
Yeah, like I said, it's a fun commander. It sort of builds itself, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you wanted a Simic, aura-based, potentially tribal commander that copies your auras, really good.
Yeah, I would play stuff with hexproof built into it, that kind of stuff, and then
the fact that there are 9 of the 20 cards that you would want to be auras in this deck, 20-ish, I'll say. The fact that 9 of them are already taken is one thing to consider, but is also their totem armors. That's really cool. I love that we've got 9 totem armors to play in this.
But some of them, in my opinion, are kind of medium, especially in Commander. You know, playing a +1/+1 and reach on something.
For sure, but if it's the totem, you're only playing this for the totem armor. The other abilities that it can have, good. You know, Spider Umbra, that's a 1 mana can't be destroyed until you remove this aura. That's fantastic.
Right. Yeah.
And plus, I think they gain more potency. Even the ones like Drake Umbra, which I think is more medium than Spider or Eel Umbra, but just because it's 5 mana.
It costs a lot, yeah.
Even playing Drake Umbra, you're gonna get 2 copies of that card if the commander's on the battlefield. And 2 copies, 2 totem armors, that's gonna get real annoying real quick. John, that's actually something we're planning. We're going to do a back to basics reading thing when Maddox is ready to learn some words. We're going to pull Jake in on that. All right, chat, I can see all the questions about previews coming in, but it is already 11:30 East Coast. We are committed to finishing this draft that we began tonight before the stream is over. So I am going to go ahead and kick this on. Jake will be live over the next couple of weeks. I will not be, but I will be back. We'll have a lot to talk about. I'm sure that, you know, maybe Jake, topic for next Wednesdays, if it's just you, can be Mythic review, going through each Mythic, can be, you know, taking questions of everybody's thoughts. All the preview.
I can just read.
Yeah.
I'll just read the cards.
Just read slow. Take your time. Sound it out. Let's take a look at this deck.
All right. Oh, yeah, this one. This deck is good.
Check this deck out, y'all. We drafted this.
All right, so we're currently what?
1-0.
Up a game. Okay.
We are 1 win, 0 losses, 2 matches remaining.
And it ends in 7 days. Okay, great.
Yep, we're going to finish this one
definitely get
tonight,
in there.
though. We got 2 more matches to play. I'm going to very quickly grab some water. My throat is hoarse from talking for 2 hours and 45 minutes. And I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Yeah, Boros tonight. And it was pretty much wide open the whole draft. John Reed says, hooked on phonics worked for me. Yeah, I really dropped the ball on that Simic 2 drop, chat. I don't know what happened there. I just was like reading it, but trying to read chat, and my brain never put everything together. Then I got confused, and it seemed like I've never played Magic before, and who the fuck knows, right? Who the hell even knows? I can't read, but I do know how to play Magic. It's based in words. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think too much sun. Proof, reading the card does not explain the card. In tonight's stream, absolutely. I mean, do you even play Magic, Mr. BuzzFuzz? I sit on Joel's shoulder and call out plays. So no. Actually, I did update Arena. And I did update MTGO because the other day I realized that early on, a bunch of the early secret layers, I'm going to complain about this for a second. I need to bring back the MTGO support for secret layers. Like, what the shit, man? It used to be like when you bought a secret layer, you got a code for those cards in MTGO. They don't do that anymore. They all went lazy ass over there. You don't get that. You just get sleeves on Arena. They're like, here, you bought this. You get some sleeves on Arena. It's like, okay. Got these sleeves. I think the last time that they actually did MTGO support for Secret Lair product was the Titans. I actually liked getting a digital version of the card to play with. But no, I did log in and I played some mono red historic recently on Arena. And that was kind of fun. I have a 13 land red deck that for some reason I always get 2 red cards. And so I play it. It runs Cavalcade of Calamity, some Fervent Champions, some hasty stuff like Tin Street Dodger. Lightning Bolt isn't legal in Historic. It runs only 13 lands. It's like some weird algorithm thing. Like for some reason the algorithm always gives me 1 or 2 lands with the deck. It was fun to jump in Arena and just play some Arena. I hadn't played in a while. I do plan to play some Mitgo. I really like drafting with Joel. This is something that I would like the channel to adopt more because I really do I think I like draft. I like draft the most. Commander is like my second most favorite way to play the game. Commander is fun because I used to take Commander super seriously, and now I like playing it for fun. I don't even really care if I get absolutely annihilated in Commander. I love our Commander League, and it's something that I would like to join once I get more time. We're not full time on the channel yet, and so I don't really get to go as hard into the channel as I would like to, because there's like certain things where it's just like I have to be an adult and I have to say, here's something that I really want to do, but I just can't fit it into my schedule yet. Draft feels balanced in the randomness. It's also my favorite. Yeah, draft is just there's something beautiful about it. It's about being able to look into the pack and see the signals from your opponents and be like, oh my god, like this color isn't open, or like finding like, oh my gosh, this archetype, nobody's in it, and you get to just kind of like figure that out while you're looking at the cards and building in the moment. Sealed and draft are both really good. Sometimes you get a great mythic. One time I had a sealed, it was an Amonkhet, and I played every rare and mythic that I opened in that sealed. It was all in Sultai. I played 5 color in that draft and I won out. It was just like, sometimes you will get an absolute house of a draft. I had like 2 of the big embalm green guys, so it was like if something got killed, I was able to embalm it and bring it back. Just so much redundancy. I had Nissa in that draft. Oh my god, it was crazy. And sometimes you don't do well. Sometimes you'll get a sealed where it's like you just shit your pants and then you go home and you have to spend the whole night taking a shower, wiping up all your shit from your butt cheeks and down your thighs or wherever it went.
What are we talking about while I left?
I was just saying that sometimes you have a draft that's good and sometimes you have one that's bad.
Oh yeah. Oh, Nickel, you like that? My late brother-in-law gave me that. My sister gave me that after he passed away. I think it's pretty sweet. It's got Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 2, and Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate on it. Pretty swag.
See, dude, like that, honestly, not having to put money into that and just getting to play it as much as you want.
Yeah.
It's like, do you find that you play it less now that you don't have to put money in it?
No, I would say, I stand up. It's an older game, so I'm not going to sit there for hours, but I probably play it once a day, once every other day. Just do a little...
Sit in, jump in, play a little MK.
Yeah. I like Mortal Kombat 2 of those 3. Mortal Kombat 2 is my favorite, but one of my very first games was Mortal Kombat 4. Yeah, John, we're moved in now. This is the house that we've been building for over a year. One of my first video games was Mortal Kombat 4, and so
which one has Cyrax in Sector? I think 2. Is that number 3? Is it number 2? Which one has? Okay, so there's Sub-Zero, there's Scorpion, and then there's Reptile. But aren't
Cyrax
there like
3.
2?
Yeah, 3 Ultimate.
Okay, and then there's like Smoke and like Ermac or something that look kind of like Scorpion and Sub-Zero and Reptile. Were they in 3 as well?
Smoke goes invisible right at the beginning of the fight. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I always love when they put those old or those like new looking. When I was a kid, I was like, oh my god, there's like more characters that are like Sub-Zero and Scorpion. I was like so excited.
Dude, Mortal Kombat now has
MK3 is my favorite then. Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, the current versions of Mortal Kombat have a bunch of like licensed characters in them. Like you could play Rambo and Terminator.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. I guess, do we jump in this?
Yeah, let's do this thing.
All right, good luck, have fun. Let's see what
Okay,
we get.
chat. Just know that if Jake and I argue a play, we're arguing friendly.
Unless you fuck it up.
Unless I fuck it up, which I get one punt per night.
Yeah, you get one moment where you forget to play the Boros Garrison early enough, and then it ends
Shipping that
up.
thing from Canada would be $1 million. Yeah, the Village. Look at this deck. Y'all, this deck is insane. We forced Boros. We decided we're forcing Boros before the draft even started. And then every Boros card that we wanted came to us. I mean, you can see up here. Look at all of our options. We even have like a deep sideboard for this deck.
We forced Boros. Let's be clear. We forced it because Pack 1 had the foil preview cards that we got.
Yeah.
We got Martial Glory and Oof.
We get a
God.
scry. We get a scry with 10th District.
Oh God. I think let's Malta 6. This sucks. That's just not what we want with this deck. If we draw one or two more lands, we're just not going to draw enough stuff.
We do get to scry with the 10th District, though. I'm freaky about sending this one back, but if you want to do it, we'll do it.
Oh, I don't like it. That's better.
All right. I'm going to just pitch a plains.
Yeah, let's pitch a plains. I mean, the 10th District was good, but I mean, we just need more stuff to do. Tenth District on the play.
Two
yeah,
drop,
I mean,
two
it doesn't
drop,
matter.
two
now.
drop, two drop. All right, at least we can suspend it.
Yeah, we could suspend it. Why not? All right, so they're blue-black. That's fine.
They're going to counter it? They want to counter this instead of our creature. Yeah, they just keep it. All right, I think we just have to try it, right? They're going to...
If we go Wing Rider, yeah, they might mana leak it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. We got to play through their stuff. They
Okay.
can also Agony Warp this.
Yeah, they can.
Nope.
All right, so they play a Balustrade, or what is it?
Ooh, hello.
That.
And we can
I
stay
think-
open for Titan Strength in case we need it.
Yeah, it might be good to just smack in with Titan Strength, and the reason is because we could just scry, make sure we have another creature coming up, but we definitely should get the axe played and equipped. Oh, is the equipped too? It is, right?
Yeah. We can do it all in this turn. We're just
This
gonna have
is
a big.
beautiful.
We're just gonna have a big swing this turn.
I'm telling you, this axe, when it goes unanswered, this axe is just stupid. Just find a creature. Let's find a creature.
Hopefully. Ah.
I would take it. It's not bad. We can put a battlefield promotion on them.
I think this is a bad play, but I'm gonna. Oh shit! Well, I'm accidentally clicked bottom. So there you go. Hopefully we draw a creature.
You have to think we were going to have a bunch of axes for those things.
Well, I was going to keep it, but I accidentally clicked the wrong thing.
It's all right.
Oh god. Misclick on Mitgo. Name something more classic than a Mitgo misclick. Save our clock, just yield through. We got another copy of that. Oh, man. 6 lands.
Yeah, GG. All right, well, we got the punt out of the way.
I mean, at this point, we would have been dead anyway. We wouldn't have drawn anything else, and Jesus Christ, we wouldn't have drawn.
We would have traded. We would have killed. Yeah, we would have. We would have been in trouble.
Yeah, we weren't winning that one, regardless of that punt. Okay, so all of that stuff was black. -3 is the only removal we saw. I think we just got to run it back. I hope that we draw a little bit better than seeing 6 or 7 lands out of our 16.
Yeah. And maybe it's worth it to just have the Rift Bolt in hand for removal and not worry about just going straight to face.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Beautiful.
That looks pretty good. So we go Cryptic turn 1.
Nah.
There we go. We are off to the races. Okay, well, that looks like a 10th district is getting in. We 10th district Boros, right?
I kind of
that way
want
we can be on curve.
I kind of want to stay open with the Titan strength.
Because
Because we can dodge a -3/-3 with Titan strength.
That's true, but we could put 2 guys out and then have a turn 4 on curve heroic, which seems really good. Vasanova says, so this is dumb, but since we're expecting our first child next weekend and her name will be very close to Ivy, I probably have to build that deck, right? Probably so.
Absolutely, dog.
All right, so here maybe they are trying to bait it with removal, so maybe this is a good opportunity to just, I don't know, play an axe and a Titan strength. Play an axe, equip an axe, and see what they do. And then maybe once they tap out, we get in with heroic. I don't know. I'm kind of just spitballing. We have plenty of time, so I'm open to suggestions. We could just swing and then go to second main.
Yeah, I kind of want to. Let's see if we can bait out what they want to do.
Okay,
with the
that
bugler.
sounds good.
At the very least,
this
see if
would
it's a
definitely be a
counterspell.
counterable thing here. All right, so there's a mana leak. Okay,
Beautiful.
so that was the move. That's fine. All right, so now we can swing in
I think we're gonna save the Titan strength here.
and just play the axe second main.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that sounds good.
Or maybe just stay open with the Titan strength to see if we can save one of our district legionnaires.
I like that less. I like that less, and the reason is because I don't think they're going to have a way to kill both of them. If they have a destroy spell, it doesn't even matter.
Dominaria Remastered's already pre-ordering on Amazon. We've seen 2 cards from that set. Wow.
So I guess, wow, they're just, I mean, we should just equip and swing and see what they do.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean,
with
like,
you.
what are they even doing here?
They just want to keep taking it. There we go. Straight up destruction.
Okay. So that's fine. We got to eat through that.
I think we go ahead and Titan Strength the other one now, right?
I don't hate that. The other thing is next turn when we do heroic. No, I mean, I like this. Let's just crack in. Just crack in. If they have another way to...
We're going to get a double scry.
Put that on the bottom.
Put on the bottom. Carefully clicking. Put
that is good.
On the top.
They go to 4.
They're down to 4.
All right, so this is really good. They have to do something here.
Just equip and say go.
Yeah, why not? Save that mana. Good job, Matthias. Says remember to equip now. That's good. Good note.
Yeah.
All right, so right now they're thinking, okay, I have to play something. In which case, if they do, say they play the flyer,
yeah,
right?
It's got to be Vampire Sovereign, right? That's what's.
Yeah, so they play flyer. Okay, we have a life swing here. So now, can we heroic and Rift Bolt? That is the question.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we cannot.
All right, so we just suspend here, and I think we swing past. I think we just have to. If they block our 10th district, it dies. So if we play these heroic reinforcements, we're 1,000,000% getting through
die.
for 4.
It won't die because this is going to give it +1/+1.
Oh yeah, this is the move. This is the move.
Boros finisher, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the move. Hasty 2/2s get through, and then we do a Rift Bolt. We push them into their next play. I mean, if we present Rift Bolt, they might just fucking...
Yeah, this might just be a concede here, but we'll see.
This might just be concede. Because now they would have to play around the Rift Bolt.
Yep, there we go.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Game 3. Now
Okay.
we're on the draw.
We are on the draw now. Do you think it's worth it to bring in a Fiery Fall and maybe cut a heroic?
I feel like it isn't. I feel like we are...
Just run it back?
Yeah, we have rock, paper, scissors going on here. And so it's either like they're going to stabilize with all of their helix, lightning helix flyers, or
Sure.
we're going to burn them down.
All right, just run it back. I'm going to use a restroom.
I bet they're just going to run it back too.
Yep.
Well, they'll probably run... I would probably, if I were them, look for if I had any other life gain stuff at all. Yeah, it's funny. We haven't seen Bedlam at all. This is a keep. For sure, for sure. Oh, baby. Look at that, chat. Love drawing into that. Slow start for them.
Oh, it looks like you got something good.
We started with 2 lands and everything you see minus the Winged Steed Rider and the Monastery Swiftspear. We drew Monastery Swiftspear on our first draw.
Oh, God. Graveblade. All right, so... God, you got to get... Oh, that was a great draw. Okay. So if you swing out, you can keep up the Lightning Helix as a trick, which is going to do some prowess shenanigans, but something is going to die here to Death Touch. But we got to get through the Death Touch.
1, 2, Yeah, 3 with promotion. I'm thinking Battlefield promotion gives him first strike, but Martial Glory goes ahead and makes sure that the Graveblade dies, you know?
Ooh, yeah, the Battlefield promotion. Wait, let's think about this. Because they're going to block the 2/2, right? So say they block the... You should just swing out and see what they do. If they block the 2/2, we can Battlefield promotion.
Yeah, we win. Win that.
And they know that they have to block something here. If they block the Monastery Swift Spear, then what ends up happening is it has to die.
Brian, have a
That's
good
what
night,
happens.
my friend. Thank you for hanging out.
And if they don't block, then we can just play Winged Steed.
Right. Oh, 100%.
It should be ideal.
There we go,
Okay.
baby.
So now we Battlefield. That thing dies.
Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. This is beautiful. We get prowess on both
We also get lifelink.
and lifelink. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Battlefield promotion. If ever there were a case for it, now is the time. That is a big life swing, and the board is cleared. And that counter stays, right?
Yep.
That's good. Right, so Lightning Helix could be
It
a
can be
kill
skin
spell
rendered.
here for us. That's fine.
Ooh, did they not draw a land? Oh, they're on 3 lands.
We might be able to pull this one out, chat. I think we swing through, see what they do.
First we swing and then we see.
First we swing. Eye Blight. Okay, so Eye Blight happens. Now, what do we want to do in our second main? I think we play a creature. And
Yeah,
I'm
we're
thinking
just gonna
the flyer.
We're gonna accept this death. We're gonna deal 1 damage, and we're gonna play Winged Steed Rider.
Yeah, either that or Hero. Hero is pretty good with Martial Glory as well. It's going to give the team go wide.
I like that Winged Steed Rider can grow out of range of their skin render
Okay.
if we target it, especially with Martial Glory.
Yep.
Plus, it flies over their Grade Blade and they've got that vampire that sacks to put +1/+1 counters on it. Did they miss another land drop? It ain't tricking if you got it, chat. I'd rather be lucky than good. Ooh, now we can Lightning Helix and Martial Glory in the same turn. Or we just
think
relief
that-
Captain straight up.
I think that what we do, honestly, is the hero of the games here in the post combat after we see what they do.
Not just reliever.
I think it gets hit with a mana leak, dude. That's like what my gut is telling me.
I hate playing
But,
around counter spells like that.
Well, I do too, but we get to see what they want to do in this phase.
Oh, this is great. So we
Can
put
we get them out of range? I think we can, right?
100%. We put Martial Glory. Choose target creature for +3/+0. Sure. Choose a creature for +0/+3. Sorry, pal, but we have the exact thing to get around you.
See, now if we had relieved, they could have agony warped in response.
That is true.
All right, so we're keeping our board here, putting good pressure on our opponent. We have to stay open for the relief
I mean,
captain.
if they miss another land drop here, we might get a concession.
I want them to play something.
Jake, I
that
wanna
way
point
we
this
can
out.
relieve safely.
MTGO is mana screwing our opponent and not us.
All right, so this is fine. We knew that this would happen.
Can't do
So
anything about
clearly,
this.
I think the move is to hero of the game so we can go wider on the relief, right?
Oh, yeah. Depending on what we draw. Hopefully we draw a 10th District Legionnaire and we just get in. Or we can do all of this. So we're going to...
Hero and set up a Rift Bolt, right?
Oh, yeah. I guess I don't need to do this in this order. It doesn't really matter, but... Take you to 9. Take you to
That
9.
Lightning Helix might be the kill shot for us this game.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. I mean, blue-black control here, you're seeing 3 Eye Blights endings over there and an Agony Warp. See, this is good. Now we can just relief.
They got a second mana now. They got a 4th mana. So they transmuted. Do we kill the blocker here or just face?
The relief captain is going to grow the team outside of the squires.
Yeah.
So I think it's face.
Yeah, I think we're just going to go face here.
Face is the place. And Seeker Squire is going to end up being, yeah, we get prowess there. Oh man, and Bedlam Reveler. Yeah, this is going to be GG's. Let's get that captain going, baby. I love how Obi says, weird, Jake knows the cards. Lucky and good. It is nice to see Mitgo actually hurting our opponent a little bit. All right. Yep, they say we can't take 3, we will take 2. And now, no matter what they do...
Oh, they're going to Vampire Sovereign here, and they go back up to 7.
Yep. So if we swing past and they block 1, 5. Do we still win?
Yeah, we still win.
We win because of prowess on the Helix.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, I think we would win anyway, because they're going to block the 3. They take 4, we deal 3.
Yeah, let's go.
We got this. We won, chat, as long as I don't misclick. Attack with all creatures. Go slow. We have 12 minutes to not fuck this up.
And before damage, is it worth it to Helix or does it even matter?
It literally doesn't matter.
Okay. Just making sure.
But we will. I mean, we'll go ahead and do it.
Let's get the extra
Choose
prowess.
Target.
GG's. And that is the power of Boros.
Ooh, Boros got there. On the draw. Aggro, baby.
All right. So now we enter into we are even and we are playing for prizes. If we win this next one, we
did
get
that
prizes.
game at 26. Now look, they were on 3 lands the entire game.
But that said, they did draw 3 Eye Blights endings and an Agony Warp against us.
2.
So
2 Eye Blights endings and a Graveblade Marauder.
Oh, Great Blade. Sorry. So we ate through a Death Toucher with a bigger toughness and everything on our board, and we got through 2 Eye Blights and an Agony Warp.
Yeah, we only lost that first one because we got flooded, really. Well, and they drew really well. Drawing their Skin Render plus 2 Vampire Sovereigns. 2 Vampire Sovereigns. Gaining 6 life is pretty hard to come back from for this Boros deck, I'll be honest. Not impossible.
I think it would have been a close game. I would like to have seen how the heroic reinforcements would have ended up in game 1, but it doesn't matter. We ended up getting it.
Yeah. We will need to think about this heading into this last one, is that we will be paired against a deck that is 2-0. So we will be paired against a good deck for this one.
All right.
But like Jake said,
matter what,
we're doing a Phantom Draft, and a Phantom Draft is 100 points to buy into. And if we can look at the prizes right here. If you win 2 of the 3, you get 100 play points.
Break
so
even.
you can just like play for free, essentially. You're not keeping the cards. It is a Phantom Draft, but I like playing Magic personally.
Now, if we
and it's also kind of
out,
nice in a Phantom Draft, because if we win out, we get 2 Magic Online Championship Series qualifier points, which is those add towards online championships, but we're not going to get enough of those.
All right,
150. The treasure chest booster is really the best thing, because
that's cool.
Treasure chests can have full foil sets, and you can redeem that for a physical full foil set.
Cool. So what we are really playing here is we've won our draft back, which is great. If we want to draft again, we have a free entry. But now we're trying to get a treasure chest where maybe we could open something really cool.
What's the idea about not adding Fiery Fall? Just want to hear the thought process, John. Not a lot of thought process there. Most of our creatures,
we already have so much removal.
Yeah,
it's
our
like the colors were wide open for us. Yeah. The only thing that would make our deck better is another Swift Spear and like a Path to Exile. Other than that, it's like exactly where we want it to be.
We lost the die roll.
That's okay. Will we draw well? No, it doesn't look like we will.
We are definitely
This is an easy mull.
sending this back.
And this looks better. We need white. But the crew and striker is okay. We can at least do the other stuff. We have to send back one of our district legionnaires, I think.
God,
I don't think we can go to 5.
I want to send back the Rift Bolt. Is that weird?
That's removal for us. I don't think we can send that back, especially when it's a playable card. We need to draw white.
Uh-oh. Mirror match.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, indeed. Probably worth it to just suspend. Nice.
Oh, 100%. We are acing.
Yeah, we're
that
just going to
Swift
get
Spear.
rid of that thing.
Yeah, John, there wasn't a lot of thought there. It was really just... You think they're going to save their martial glory to try and get around our Rift Bolt?
Maybe.
That'd be fine with me. Burn the good pump card. Not kill our 10th district legionnaire with that.
Let's see what they do. Could just be a God's willing or something.
That's fine. Again, burn this shit. Battlefield promotion. Does that give him? Oh yeah, the counter. That's fine. That's fine, dude. They just use Battlefield as a survival. They're already down to 4 cards on the attack, on the play rather. I don't hate this.
We should probably get the Cruin out next, since it's going to get a buff and I believe trample.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much.
That card's okay.
It's pretty much our only play next turn. Might as well play it and then hold open Titan Strength for shenanigans.
Yeah, Titan Strength is going to get us back out ahead on the. Okay, so we could just swing here and see if they go for removal, and then play the Cruin second main, right?
100%.
Yeah. We could just ride this 10th district to victory if we play this deck right.
We are losing the race right now, but we won't always be.
All right, so then we keep the Titan Strength to pump if we need to. Okay, so this is looking good.
We want to draw one
Depending
more
on what
mana
they
and
do.
heroic reinforcements.
Yeah. All right, so they're paying 3.
Wow. Wow, they got a Monastery Mentor. Jesus Christ, that's going to be hard to deal with.
Well, it's just like a Pyromancer. Well, now it isn't. Must be nice. Must be nice. Well, that's fine. They're absolutely tapped out. We get to swing into a board.
That 4/4 first strike is going to be very difficult to deal with.
Yeah. I mean, we cut our Hyena Umbras, but Hyena Umbra is very good.
Well, against this deck, it's excellent. We cut them because there's so much -3, whatever in the format.
Yeah.
Because that's a 3/3 right now that if we had a -3/3.
Okay, so we could Rift Bolt it.
Wow, they can't prowess it up. I don't hate that.
Now, is there a way... Wait a minute. If we swing out right now, they will probably block with the Monastery Mentor, I would think. And if they do, then we could get the 10th district out of range of the Monastery with the Battlefield promotion.
Yeah, Potential. Wait, why does it still have first strike?
Hyena Umbra.
Oh, Hyena Umbra. Gotcha. Yeah, they're just taking it.
All right, so if they're just taking it, is it worth it to scry to find mana? Or is it worth it to just Rift Bolt it to get rid of the Hyena Umbra? Do we want a Battlefield promotion on one of our creatures to try to get more damage through?
Yeah,
We're just trying to
I'm thinking. I mean, 6 is a big hit. 8, and I think we just need to Rift Bolt the Monastery Mentor.
To get rid of the Hyena Umbra.
Yeah.
We could Titan Strength and Rift Bolt with Suspend.
Yeah, that's true, but they're tapped out right now, and this thing has prowess.
Okay, so you want to just have it go through? I'm down with that.
Here's a 4 hit.
Yeah. Fucking Monastery Mentor.
Yeah, they got the Mythic that's good for this deck. We got almost every card that we wanted for this. Sheesh! I mean, they could
what
present,
else do they have? They have
they
2
could
cards
present
left.
lethal here pretty easily. If they've got like a Titan Strength right now, it puts 7 more power on the battlefield. Yeah, this is game. They just drew the nuts. That's okay. That happens. We'll get to be on the play next. Hopefully we'll draw our nuts. They drew the absolute nuts.
Yeah, they were able to get 2 Swift Spears. We wanted a second one the whole game. We never saw one.
The Swift Spear definitely hurt, but I will say that the Monastery Mentor is what killed us there.
Yeah.
Plus a perfect draw. So we want to get a little lower to the ground. We probably want to bring in both Hyena Umbras, I would
Bring
say.
in Last Breath. 100% we need Last Breath.
We could do Last Breath. Do we just want 1 Hyena Umbra or 2? Take a Rift Bolt out. The Bedlam comes out, I think.
Hyena Umbra is good.
Maybe that over the Axe?
Yeah, probably. Probably over a Martial Glory too. We could probably cut a Martial Glory for did we bring in Last Breath? We did,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
We could bring in we could cut a Martial Glory for another Hyena Umbra. That would probably be really good against these guys.
Oh, I don't know if I want to cut that. I think I'd rather cut a Rift Bolt, honestly.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Rift Bolt, it's hard to cut because it's damage to any target.
That's not a bad thought, Buzz. This seems pretty chunky. Especially with us on the play. Yeah, let's do this. We'll bring the captain back in when we're on the draw.
Okay. I mean, it's a good 4-drop.
For sure. But on the play, I feel like we're trying to burn this one down as quickly as possible. Hyena helps with that.
We only have 11 creatures.
We got 2 heroic reinforcements as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's just run it. We'll see how it does.
Do we need
Come
Dark
on,
Steel
Magic
Plate?
Gods, give us something good.
Good opening hand. Decent. Not great. Don't want to draw another freaking mana, but we can't turn this back.
Yeah.
Lightning Helix is huge against them. Mo. They mold.
All right, let's go red and swing low, sweet chariots. Good luck, everybody. Let's get
Yeah,
there.
we
We're
got to
playing
take the
for
back 2 against a mirror match here, so it's kind of tough. Starting with 1 white, that seems weird.
say planes and say go. Oh, this is scary. We need to protect the shit out of that Swift Spear.
Yeah, but I mean, if they have Path to Exile, ain't nothing we can do.
Yep. We can just remove stuff. Please, Magic Gods, let us draw a freaking creature.
Yeah, I'd love to see our 10th District Legionnaires next turn.
Yeah, Path is in the set. Yep.
Yep.
All right, so they're on double white. No red over there.
That can't be the plan.
All right, so now we're going to deal some damage.
Yeah, I guess face is the only place.
I missed that game where we had the Sensei's top. Seeker is good. Seeker is very good. Let's, I guess, swing, right?
Yeah, boy.
And then Seeker second main.
Mm-hmm. I figured lightning helix to the face, second main.
Yeah, that would be good. All right, so this board feels a lot better having two dudes on it.
We are bluffing that we have God's willing here. I don't think they're that worried about it. That's a lightning helix target if I've ever seen one.
Tenth district entered the revealed cards zone. This here for me might be a
Martial Glory.
swing out. What is Militia Bugler, a 2/3?
Yep.
Is it worth it to just lightning helix the Bugler and swing through with prowess?
I kind of want to lightning helix the 10th district when that gets played.
Okay.
Poisonally. But we'll see what they do here. They may want to stay aggressive and not even block here. No, they're going to force it. So now we just Martial Glory.
Yeah, give the +3/+0 to the...
Correct.
Yeah, it's a good hit. It's a smart. That's a smart hit there, mate. And then the prowess will kill the bugler anyway.
Right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is good. This is good. That's a big hit.
And we gain 3 life.
What does that take them to? 8 with nothing on the board. All right.
Game.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
Go to game 3.
Okay.
Right.
So now, if we're on the draw,
Some of our chunkier stuff, I still just don't like Fiery Fall. Maybe like Battlefield Promotion seems pretty relevant. First Strike.
yeah, but you have to think you need to cut a reactive spell for that. We can't cut any more creatures.
No, I'm not going to cut any more creatures.
It would need to be like
That would be dumb.
an Umbra. Probably an Umbra. The Umbras, we didn't even play that game. So it's like, I mean, but they didn't play well. So maybe we just bring in or cut a single Umbra for it. You already brought it in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just run this. This looks good.
All right. This is for all the bananas. Every
All right, all
single
bananas,
banana
chat.
is on the line. We got a good
Ooh.
opening hand.
Ooh, this is like really nice. We just suspend the Rift Bolt right out the gate, or do we hold it?
I think we are going to suspend it right out of the gate and slow down their roll. They mulligan to 6. This is good for us. The fact that they are not playing a
Wait,
turn 1
do they
Swift
not have the
Spear,
Swift Spear?
that is even better for us. Pass.
Pyro. I think Pyro, dude.
Yeah, it's going to eat removal, but I would rather that eat removal than our attackers.
I mean, I'm fine with the Seeker too. We could send the Seeker out. I mean,
Seeker
Young
is-
Pyromancer is going to make us so many dudes.
Yeah, but Seeker
That's
is
the thing.
the most valuable creature in our entire deck against their deck. Lifelink is unbelievable against them. We go Pyro. We can Hyena Umber it next turn.
Yeah.
If we want to, we can also tighten, just,
I
hopefully
mean,
we
they're
draw
gonna kill
another
it.
land.
It'll definitely die. But if it doesn't, then it'll do good stuff.
I would
Yeah,
love...
I like waiting for the Pyro too, because then you can
Go
play the
wide,
Pyro, put
right.
a Umbra on it immediately, but we don't have the mana for it right now.
We need to draw a mountain next turn. Lava Coil. Look at that. Oh, I should have gone Seeker there. Whatever. I'm acting aggressive. What is 1 red mana? Nothing, right? We can Titan Strength here pretty safely, right? No, Lightning Bolt is in this format, isn't it?
Yeah, Lightning Bolt is in the format.
We haven't seen a Lightning Bolt yet.
You could Titan Strength just to make sure that you stay up, or
I want.
I almost like being reactive more though, but
I really want to draw on the mana next turn.
yeah, that card works better though with the Seeker already on the board, right?
Okay.
I mean, having a mana is good. We could just use a mana. A mana is good.
Okay. We pass.
Maybe Titan Strength is good there. I don't know.
Well, it gets it up to 4 toughness.
I like being able to Hyena Umbra our dude this next turn. Okay. All right, so we draw the mana for Heroic. I mean, Heroic swing through isn't bad, but I kind of like Seeker and then stay up for Titan Strength and then go bigger on the board for the Heroic, because then we get Prowess.
Yeah. Plus, it gives us a blocker for their Seeker, and at minimum, if we can trade Seekers, we're still ahead because we have 4 cards. They have 2.
So yeah, we have to, because we only have 1 white mana. We have to pretty much play Seeker here. All right, so now we go Seeker of the Way. Stay up Titan Strength, right?
Correct.
All right. All right, so they do their own heroic reinforcements.
It's going to be a 4/4 Seeker. I think we're trading Seekers here, man.
If you mean Titan Strength and trade it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems pretty good. Then we crack back with a nice
We both gain 4. They have no responses, so we know we're going to be able to kill one of their main creatures. Hopefully we draw planes next turn so we can Umbra and reinforcements same turn.
All right, Titan Strength. Let's go. Sadly, we were off a white mana there, or else we would have been able to get the Umbra on there too.
Oh yeah,
but it is what it is. We're gonna gain some life though,
We're
so
definitely
that's good.
putting this on the bottom.
Oh, yeah, because of the 2 white.
Can't even cast it. Brutal. Okay. But if we draw white mana next turn. Now we do this. And we're off to the races.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of tough for the opponent because they're like, well, I want to keep swinging, but now we have a board just like they do. I mean, it's a mirror match. It's a mirror match. Oh, Bugler is tough.
Good for them.
I think the Hyena Umbra is very strong for us.
I think that if we can relief Captain and drop a counter on each of these creatures, that's going to be nuts. Oh, Jesus. Are they just going to draw better than us? If they do, they do?
Yeah. Yep.
They might.
Oh, okay. Where's the best spot for the Umbra? This guy?
This,
yeah.
so we can scry.
Yeah, we need to scry badly.
Planes.
Oh, God. Yes. Okay. All right, so next turn. Is it worth it to just keep a 4/4 first striker up?
I think we just stay back and hope they don't have another lava coil.
Yeah, because our 1/1s are starting to look less good.
But they'll look pretty sick with a +1/+1
Relief
counter
Captain.
on them.
All right.
At some point, they've got to stop just drawing absolute fucking heat, right? One
it's
miss
fine.
from them.
It's fine. They didn't draw anything that we can't deal with there. All right, so now we get to do this, which means that this turn we 1,000,000% relief captain because we get all the value out of it.
Maximum value.
Now, here's my question. With this board, I think we have to start swinging with the 5/5 first striker,
100%.
right?
100%.
Yeah.
They're going to double block. Ah, dude, do we? We don't even have a combat trick at this point.
Well, if they double block it, what is the negative? We would just remove the Hyena Umbra and it's still alive in a 4/4, right?
Yeah, we do have the Hyena Umbra. I forget about that.
So right now, they're going to probably throw a 1/1 in front of it. That's what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we're eating through their board. They have one card in hand, and they're desperately going to be looking for a removal. And that Lava Coil isn't going to be enough. So they need something big for Hyena Umbra over here. Yeah, they're just going to... Okay. I would be fine to trade a token with Vigi. Oh, that pretty much just said to me they don't have a combat trick in hand.
Agreed. One that they want to use on anybody but the Wing Steed. Now that becomes
they're going to try to win the
5/4.
race. Okay. They're going to try to win the race with the flyer.
You're making
Which
me
makes
nervous.
I'm nervous. We have to essentially get the Doom Traveler out there so that it can eventually block in the air. What is Relief Captain's power and toughness? 3/2?
3/2.
Yeah, we should just... I think we just send 5/5 again, right? I mean, what is that? Is that thing a 4/4 for the rest of the game? That heroic thing? Fuck.
Yeah, they have drawn very well yet again.
We just have to get the Doom Traveler
it also
killed so we can
shows-
block once in
I
the
think
air.
that people undervalued Battlefield promotion. Putting a +1/+1 counter on it is so strong. We hope we draw a trick next turn so we can gain a lot of life, really. Because we have 2 swings left with that Wing Steed.
Oh, they just let that go through. All right, let's get Doomed out. This is... Okay. Oh, man.
Yeah, take a breath.
I'm nervous.
I can tell.
It's coming down to 1.
We got this. We got this. They could just, I mean, like, militia, martial strike here, and we're just like, GG. No? Okay. Oh, Lightning Helix. GG. Good draws, man.
Yeah,
Good
they drew
draws
perfectly.
for our opponent.
They drew perfectly.
And just like
Well,
that,
the dream is dead.
we have not gone 3-0 in any of these drafts.
Dude,
we've
the
gone-
mirror, man. We got beat by our own deck.
Yeah, I mean, again, we played against somebody there that was 2-0, and it makes sense because they had a nuts of a deck,
Yeah.
just like us.
Pretty much all the same cards, and
They
then they
just
had
drew-
a couple extras.
Right. It's the extra one that killed us because that critical first game, we were pretty good until they played the Monastery Mentor.
Yeah. So where we had one Monastery Swift Spear, they had 2 Monastery Swift Spears. We did not have a Monastery Mentor, which is pretty much like essentially in this deck.
It's a Mythic.
It's going to make monks with prowess and stuff, right?
Oh, it's enormous.
Yeah, so it's like the big Young Pyromancer. Like Young Pyromancer is good, but it would have been better as a Monastery Mentor in this. But it was a fun deck. It's a fun deck.
Vintage Cube. Well, the thing is that we earned our play points back,
We did.
so we can play Phantom drafts coming up. We got 150 play points. We got 17 tickets.
Yep.
We can play in Phantom drafts coming up. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Yeah, we'll just save those tickets. It's probably not worth it to do another double Masters draft, considering we would have to play all those games.
Yeah, we'd have to do them all pretty much tonight.
And you're going to have baby on the way. probably in the next week.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a potential, like there is a very small chance that I'm able to stream next Wednesday. He's due Friday. We are going to induce the Friday after that. So he will definitely be born on September 1st, if not before.
Oh, nice.
So I think it'd be pretty cool if he was born on September 1st, because I was born on September 30th. So we do a little first of the month, end of the month thing.
That's fun. Just
Anyway.
have Jennifer hold off.
Yeah, I'll ask her to do that. That'll piss her off. Chat, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really do appreciate it. Thanks for all the support, all the super chats, our new members, any new patrons. I haven't even looked at my phone tonight.
No, I don't think
okay.
any new patrons, but we had a great stream. We had a fun stream. We got to talk about some Dominaria United. We got to catch up on that.
Between you and me, we got like 5 segments out of this that I can cut up and we can parse out over the next week.
Yeah, and I'm probably going to go ahead and download the stream because there's a segment that I want to cut out of there too.
Nice.
Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out.
Food time set.
Joel, you did a great job drafting, man. You did really well, but we just couldn't find the...
Oh, yeah, we played it the best we could. The punt didn't matter in the scheme of things. And past that, we played it the best that we could have. I'm trying to think. Maybe that first game, did we rift bolt their face?
Yeah, I think Battlefield promotion really is good. Yeah, the first game rift bolting the face in retrospect is probably bad. I think rift bolt should probably, especially in that matchup, be used on any creature pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a really fun time. We did what we could with the deck, and I do think Battlefield promotion is really good. It's going to grow the team. It's most likely in the right instance, it's going to trade favorably for you. You're going to use the Battlefield promotion, protect something, kill something of theirs, and then have a threat that's bigger than it was. So yeah, I think there's definitely something there.
Chat, thank y'all for hanging out. We're going to get out of here. Last little push here. I'll sell to you for just a second. TCG player, I just dropped a link there in the chat. If you're going to order any Dominaria United, use that affiliate link. It doesn't cost you any extra. You don't have to do anything other than fill up your cart and then use our affiliate link before you check out, and we get a percentage of that back. So we would really appreciate it if you would do that as you go to order your Dominaria United boxes and singles, etc. Past that, consider joining our Patreon. That Patreon is the way that we don't have to rely on YouTube AdSense. That is the main way that we will be able to
keep the streams coming, keep the stuff coming,
like next
keep videos going.
Next summer is when we're sort of tentatively projected to be able to go full time on this, and that just means more streams, and that means more videos. So anything you can do to help us out would be greatly appreciated. Other than that,
yes, shout out to Keto Investor and Clay, who were hanging out earlier. There will be an episode of Foil Quest tomorrow. Hopefully, no trouble as far as technical difficulties. We try to give away on my end tonight. It worked just fine.
Seems like it
looks like stuff is working. So plan to have an episode of Foil Quest tomorrow. And then there's going to be about 4 more episodes waiting in the wings. So if you are hoping to get in on an episode of Foil Quest Mono, I don't know how many more episodes we're going to have of it after those 4. It's not like it's going to go away forever, but there's no time like the present to get in on a box if you want to do it. I know that there's some of you that have future episodes set up and stuff like that, so don't worry, just reach out to me, remind me. There's a lot of stuff on the radar all the time, so I just need reminders sometimes. But yeah, there will be an episode tomorrow. It'll be great. Stream tonight was great. Hey, we broke even. We were able to secure another draft in the future. I call that a win. And yeah, we got beat by a good deck. We had a great deck, and we got beat by a better deck that maybe had a couple more optimized pieces.
For sure.
And that's it.
For sure. But we will take it every day of the week. Homies, y'all have a good night. We're done saying good night.
Have a good night, folks.
Bye-bye.
We will see you later.
Oh yeah, we did enjoy rereading that card.